action.
Hey, we're back.
We're back. I'm glad you guys are back. Did you watch Bird Box? Because that's what we're about to talk about before we get into this week's thing.
Did you? And for the people who saw our version before they saw Bird Box, tell us which one you like better.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Please let me know. I like finding out.
I like Derek's version way better than the actual.
I like my version. I was like, yo, my version I thought was better too. I cut a lot of the fat out.
That's a good point. Oh, by the way, for the new listeners, we're gonna start our movie after this review of last week's movie. That's how.
Yeah, we just bring it up now.
All right.
You'll get the rhythm.
Didn't like Bird Box.
He didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
He's like half of the internet. God, a lot of people had comments about this movie.
I mean,
I'm sure. Did you? Let me ask one question before we start. Just because I know you have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Did you see anything like regarding? Because you didn't know I was going to do this.
No.
Did you see anything regarding like the movie on the Instagram, on Facebook? You know,
all I know,
any tweet, anything at all.
All I knew is that people were very split. People either really liked it, or from what the internet said, people either really liked it or really hated it. And I watched the movie.
Did you see pictures or
I saw
quotes
her
already?
The boat.
So you knew. Okay.
But I put together like it was about a monster who you couldn't see.
Okay.
I was able to put that. I knew that going into it. That being said, having watched it, I feel like it's insane to have a super strong feeling about it either way. It's not a good enough movie to love. And it's not terrible enough to hate.
Definitely not bad. I don't like when people like. I was like, bro, it's not bad. I've seen bad movies, bro. It's not bad.
It's not
and
good,
you know what? Hold up.
Let's get into this. Not bad, man.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good.
I don't think it's
great. A Quiet Place is great.
Yeah, well, A Quiet Place is one of my favorite movies.
One of my favorite movies, and I don't like horror movies at all. You know, it took me a while to want to go see A Quiet Place, and he was right. That was one of the best movies I saw.
Yeah,
this movie, not that. But this movie is good. It is not bad. It's not bad.
This movie had, I think, a chance to be really good. There's a couple things I really have a problem with this, I guess, in this movie.
Okay.
First being, at one point in the podcast, you stopped me and said, "Oh, come on, man, appreciate good writing. You're such an asshole. You don't appreciate good writing until you see it." And I watched it, and it wasn't good writing.
Oh, come on. It wasn't good writing.
No, it was, dude, there's so many times that they just, like, in a movie, right? When a good guy gets lucky, it's like a big thing, and that's what happens. You know, and it happens once, maybe twice in a movie. They get crazy lucky in ways that just don't make sense, and you're like, "Oh, this is just to move the plot forward." The fact that there's birds in a grocery store, the fact that they driving blind don't hit anything and end up at the front of the grocery store enough that they don't even have to go outside and face looking at the monster accidentally while walking into the store. That's already lucky. The fact that none of the kids die in the rapids. Both kids survive.
That was my only reason it wasn't great. Everything else I disagree with until you got there. Just want to on the record.
No, it's all just like a lot of it, they just get super the fact that there's a school for the blind in the middle of the woods.
Amazing twist. Loved it.
I mean, it's like who would build that there? Why would there be a school for the blind in the woods covered in? There's no make sense.
Have you not heard of Professor X?
Okay, so there's just a bunch of. Also, they're not in the woods. They're in the countryside. They're not in deep vegetation. Bro, how mean is that to have a school for the blind and then put no roads there?
They don't need to see.
They need to get there still. It needs to be easier to get there. What are you talking about? It's just the fact that they come up on the front door of the you know, it's like I get it, it's just kind of
like I Am Legend ending. That's what it kind of was.
Not even that. It's just like, but like even in I Am Legend, he doesn't get insanely lucky all the way through.
No, he dies. He dies in the end of that bitch.
Yeah, I mean
that's the most unlucky.
You know what I mean? In The Quiet Place,
he tries to kill himself too in I Am Legend. There's some good dark moments.
But let's take The Quiet Place, right?
Absolutely.
Quiet Place, right? They get lucky at some points, but then they really get fucked up at some points. And then I don't know.
A Quiet Place, I mean, they get lucky as fuck. I mean, but
the luck is in subtle ways. Like the luck is.
I mean, of course you're right. A Quiet Place. I mean, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But I like, nigga, the acting in this is phenomenal. I'll stand by it. Malkovich, great.
I think also you were blinded by the fact that they had great actors. in it. I thought the acting in it was okay. I don't think anyone. But I think a part
Sandra,
of that. I think
great.
a part of that reason is because the characters weren't that in depth or that good.
Sandra, great. I disagree. Yeah. Sandra, great. The Tom guy, I really liked him.
Yeah, but it's like
the black guy.
Here's my second point.
And you know what else? I'm gonna say this, and just real quick. I love about this movie, and it has nothing to do with race, but then I gotta bring it up because I love this about it. They didn't not one black joke, not one black joke, not one black thing, not one black comment, not one black fucking thing. He was just he was him and Lil Rel were just two men. A guy who wrote a novel. I mean, I appreciate. That's why I was like
that's a perspective I didn't even. That was, that was.
He was just a dude that got to raise a kid. No comment. He was a man who loved a woman. He sacrificed himself at the end. Like I was like, oh fuck yeah. I mean, not also, but and then I just liked him. I thought he did a great job. He's a great actor. I don't know, man. Malkovich killed it. Sandra was amazing. The Weird London guy I thought was great.
Weird London guy I thought was good. I like the Weird London guy. Oh, but okay, and then here's the other thing that my problem. To me, this was almost in the same way as Law Abiding Citizen. This was two different movies, and they went down the middle and tried to take one from both. That's how I feel.
What two different movies was it?
The Time in the House is a movie. Could have been a movie. Should have been a movie on its own. And The Time on the River should have been a movie on its own. Shouldn't have been in the same thing. Because going back and forth, I think you miss a lot from like what could have been character development and what could have been actual plot moving forward. And you sort of had to rush things. They sort of had to find the birds in the supermarket, that sort of stuff, to get.
I like the birds.
It doesn't make any sense for them to be in a supermarket. Why would you have?
What do you mean?
Live birds in a supermarket?
Dude, I've seen birds all over the place. It's not like they had live bird like pigeons, nigga. It was like, just you haven't seen the movie. It's like birds in a cage, like somebody would have in a house.
They're on a guy's shopping cart.
They're not on a guy's shopping cart.
Yeah, they are.
Bro, go watch it again. Nigga. They're not on a guy's shopping cart. They're behind the counter.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's either way. Here,
he gets the bird. I liked the birds. The birds could tell you. Oh man, it was cool.
And here's another. Okay, so because they had to split between the two, we didn't get to see one fully. And it's like, I thought the characters were underdeveloped. Like, why did Machine Gun Kelly and the Mexican girl leave? That's fascinating to get to that point. Like, us two have to go. But we really saw none of it. They were just fucking and then they were gone.
Yeah, I wish I would have known.
That
was the thing. Those are the little things that kept it from being great.
I didn't really get, like, they didn't really delve into the old woman. You know what I mean? If the couple that left to find their kids, if we saw them in the house for a little bit, trying to find their kids for like a seed and then getting a call and then being like, fuck, we gotta go. And that's the first ones to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they all leave one by one and you have time to explore the characters in depth. You have time to deal with, like, it would have been great if John Malkovich's character, if the whole thing was focused on the house. If John Malkovich's character was kind of a homophobe in the beginning, and then at the end he was like, oh fuck, these are good guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Show some character growth. Instead they just said it. They're like, oh, you're a good guy now. And there's someone I took a class on writing once, and they said something that stuck with me from it is show instead of say. And a lot of times the characters would say this thing was happening instead of the movie showing it happen.
Yeah. Like
the kid at the very end when she hugs her son and she's like, your daughter's afraid of you, or girl is afraid of you, girl is afraid of you. It's like, well, besides the rapid scene, show her clearly treating the girl different. She treats her the same until the rapid scene.
That was such a good. I disagree with everything. I'm like, nigga, these are great acting choices because they left it mysterious.
It's not about the choices. It's about the writing.
I like the writing.
No, because they just were like,
I like the choices. Those are choices in the writing. I like those choices.
I did not like those choices.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's definitely, because you're saying they're bad. It's like, nah, bro, I disagree. I don't think they're bad. I think you didn't like them, just like some people didn't like them, just like some people did.
I wouldn't even say it's bad. I guess it was bad to choose to combine the two stories. Because they're two separate stories, the characters couldn't go in depth.
I loved it. I loved it. Oh my god!
To me, if you're gonna do two separate stories, you got to go Titanic. You got to make it 3 hours long.
But this movie wasn't about that. This movie was about an action thriller. This movie was about like keeping you on your toes. I liked it, man. I don't know. I liked it. It kept me on my toes.
It never. So for me, it's like, just because all those, like, like the not dying at the, it didn't keep me on my toes. It's like, oh, they're just gonna survive no matter what.
Yeah.
That's how too. It's like, oh man, he clings on a rock in the rapids. That would have just fucking, if he hit a rock going down the rapids, he would have fucking died. I think that's what should have happened. I think the boy should have died, and that would have been like, oh, what happens now? And then all of a sudden they're separated, because she falls down a cliff, but like it's like,
little boy
okay.
should have died. I mean, I agree. The movie's great, but that's our difference. Whereas you think is, I think the movie goes from good to great if the boy died.
I felt that way through the whole movie. So I was like, so just so many things were just off about it.
But let me tell you something, Beaners, or not Beaners, new listeners.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to it because clearly I told a pretty good version.
Yeah, his version was way better.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's so like just to say, if you haven't, you're like, what is going on right now? Why are they talking about fucking Bird Box? I came here for this other shit. Yeah. I know. But nigga, go check out our version of Bird Box because you probably have already seen it and you're like, I already have an opinion. But check out our version because you'll be like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh God, what are the internet, bro? Half 50-50.
Oh yeah, we're 50-50. I mean, you know what? And I'm gonna name. Hold up, 50-50 on Blade. We'll go through it real quick, nigga. We got your time. 50-50 on Blade.
Yeah.
Because I love Blade. He didn't like fucking Blade. If you're coming in hot on this, he didn't like Blade.
No.
What else are we 50-50 on? Do you think else you didn't like?
I'd have to go down the list. There's a couple of them where we definitely don't agree. But I'd have to
Blade's the big one.
Blade is the big one.
And now this one.
Yeah, this one definitely. We're gonna fight.
We're gonna fight. So when we come back, we're gonna be fucked up, but we'll be right back.
All right, we'll be back. We're back.
We're back. Thanks for staying. Back. You stayed. I'm assuming. It was a couple seconds.
We're back.
We're back. Hassan?
Yes.
Ahmad?
Yes.
Can you describe to me your version of the movie or what you think happens in the movie The Breakup?
Bro, I don't even know who's in this.
Your face.
I don't even, because it's like the other movies I didn't know, like Day After Tomorrow or whatever. Like, or Hardball.
If you say it like that, well, Hardball is crazy. You didn't get that one at all. What did you say that was about?
About a family. No, Day After, like all those at least had cool names.
Yeah, Day After Tomorrow you can figure it out.
Even Hardball, I can sort of like, ooh, what's Hardball? Or like this business fucks over a family. Yeah. They're playing Hardball.
Yo, you said that. That was great. Best tagline of all time. Yeah. All right, hold on. Wait, little dude, can you pull it again?
Dude, bro.
He nailed Hardball perfectly. That is exactly what happened in that movie. Hassan, what is your version? Can you tell me what happens in The Breakup?
All right. It is just a run-of-the-mill rom-com. That's what The Breakup is. It's about a guy who thinks he has it all. He has a girl. He has, good job. All that sort of shit.
Who's our lead? In your movie,
the fucking Ben Affleck is our lead.
All right, great. Yeah. Amazing.
Ben Affleck is our lead.
Ben Affleck. Dude, if it's fucking Ben Affleck, how crazy would you be?
Yeah, that would be nuts.
Because it's possible. Name one that's like,
it's a romantic comedy lead.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So Ben Affleck is our lead.
Okay.
And
he's got a girl. He's got a girl. Okay. Is this the main girl or is this girl not the main girl yet? You know what I mean?
All right, this is
if it's a rom-com.
This is the main girl.
This is the main girl.
This is the main girl.
Okay.
And they break up because of his selfishness.
He's selfish.
Yeah. And then the whole romantic comedy is him working his way up and like finding how to be nice to other people and realizing, oh, I had it all. And then making at the end, he makes that big ploy that's like over the top and huge in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
About how much he loves her and needs her. And then she's like, yeah. And then she's some white girl that you've seen, but you don't quite know who she is. And that's The Breakup.
He's the best. I mean, that's why we love him, right, Beaners? Come on. He's the fucking champ, dude. Oh, dude. What episode is this?
This is 53, I believe.
53 for 53. Yeah. Literally, 52 for 52. I've done one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
52 for 52, bro. Yeah. Oh, my God, you're the best. All right. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
Are you? Are you sure they've seen it?
Actually, yeah. You're going to remember it when I start telling it to you. Guys, I love this movie. This is probably my favorite movie. Let's get into it.
All right.
We start at a baseball game.
Okay.
Literally. Baseball game.
Okay.
Cubs versus Sox.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You look at you. You're like
I vaguely baseball game breakup. This is like 2004ish
maybe.
in that time.
Actually, no, maybe like a little closer to 2006, 2007. I want to because I want to say I was in high school when I saw this.
But it's around that time.
Yeah,
Now I'm vaguely remembering
mid 2000s for sure.
Okay.
So right baseball, Cubs versus Sox. Right.
Okay.
Cubs fuck up on a play. We see one of our characters, Jon Favreau.
Oh shit.
Okay, and he's laughing, and he's got a White Sox jersey on,
Yeah.
and everybody's looking at him, and then he stands up because the Cubs fuck up again, and then he starts just applauding. Right, and everybody's just booing him like boo, and he's just like looking at him like applauding. You know what I mean? And boo. And then Vince Vaughn looks up, our lead.
Oh, okay.
And he's so mad. He's just staring at him like, you motherfucker. He's got Cubs stuff on. And then Jon Favreau sits down. He goes, "You're gonna be like this all day?" And then him and Favreau just start arguing, pretty much like fighting almost. What's fucking hot out here? You only brought me this fucking Cubs game. You know what I mean? They're just going back and forth, right? And then Vince is hot as shit, and he's mad. He's talking shit, and he looks over, and he sees Jennifer Aniston.
There it is. Okay, I was like Vince Vaughn. Who was Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston? All right, so I was wrong about the white girl.
Yeah, you're wrong about
you very much
a lot
white
about
girl.
this.
Yeah.
You're wrong about most of this.
Yeah, what?
Everything. But that's why you're 52 for 52, baby. So he looks over, he sees her, right? She's on a date with some fucking guy.
Right.
Okay? And she's like a couple people down, like maybe 4 seats down. Game's packed. So he goes, hey, hot dog guy. Hot dog, can I get 6 hot dogs, please? 6 hot dogs. Right? And the guy's like, yeah. So he starts passing. So the guy's passing, because they're in the middle. So he's passing the hot dogs down to get to him. And then when it gets to her, he goes, ma'am, you want a hot dog? And then she's like, what? Miss, take a hot dog, take a hot dog. She's like, oh, I'm good. No, take a hot dog. Go ahead. You want a hot dog? And she's like, no, all Vince Vaughn. No, you want to take a hot dog. Trust me, I don't want the hot dog. She's like, all right, no, trust me. And she goes, okay, I'll take a hot dog. And she takes one. And he's like, good, right? Good hot dogs, huh? And then they pass the rest down and it's quiet for a second. Like everybody's focused on the game. And he goes, you ever had one before? And she's like, what? Have you ever had one? A hot dog? Well, at a ball game. No. Best kind. Go ahead. You gotta put the mustard on it. He starts like, and she's just like, okay. And she's like, we'll share it. Her and the date, and the guy's like, all right. And he keeps talking about the hot dogs, like yelling. And then the guy next to him, like, he's just looking at him crazy, like. And then Vince Vaughn goes, what? I can't enjoy my hot dog right now? And then Jon Favreau goes, you want me to smack him in the fucking head? And he goes, no, you gotta relax. You gotta relax, man. All right. So game ends. Aniston and the date get up, right? And they get like, he starts walking out and they get kind of separated by people. And so when they get separated, Vince Vaughn slides up to her and he goes, hey, you want to get a drink? And she goes, I'm with someone. And he goes, oh, you mean the guy with the tucked in shirt and the visor and the plaid shorts? That guy? You're with that guy? And then she laughs immediately. Like, like, you know what I mean? And then he starts talking all fast like Vince Vaughn, like, oh, were you going to marry him? And then she goes, what? He goes, you're going to marry the guy with the plaid shorts and the tucked in shirt with the visor. That's the guy you're going to marry. That guy with the tucked in plaid shirt. And then she was like, he goes, well, listen, my point is, if you're not going to marry him and it's not forever, then there's nothing wrong with getting a drink with me. And then she's like he's talking fast and she's like, starts smiling. She's like loving it. She's like, okay, you gotta. He goes, all right, I'm leaving. Okay, you're crazy. He goes, I'm not crazy. No. Right now you think I'm crazy, but later you're gonna be like, oh my God, he was a genius. He's a genius, And then she's like, blah blah blah. And he goes, all right, well, she goes, look, I'm leaving. He goes, I know, we both are. Where are we headed right now? And then she goes, listen, we're not headed. He goes, no, don't make this weird. All right, let's not make it a date. Let's just go somewhere. Okay, and she's like, you're crazy, And then right then,
what was the plaid shirt? Oh, okay, is he plaid
he's
shirt?
like trying to get. It's like a packed game.
Okay.
So he's like looking for where the fuck is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then right then, ooh, you're making me live by Queen.
Oh damn! So he just got fucked.
Right then, yeah, that song starts,
Ooh.
and it's just a montage of them on like their first date, and then like while this song plays and the credits start rolling.
Okay.
Whenever this world.
Wow, on a date with another dude. That's game.
Oh, dude. Oh, when you see it, it's smooth. I love this movie because Vince Vaughn just steals it of like a smooth nigga, bro. Smooth talking ass nigga.
Okay.
Dog.
Okay.
So, the song plays, "You're my best friend," while it shows them on like, getting a place together. It shows
okay,
them,
so it's your host.
like it's full credits, like a full credit, like one of those kind of movies where it's like, oh wow, there's a credits in the beginning.
Okay.
So pictures of them getting a place together, pictures of them going on like trips to like sporting events and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like happy pictures of like friends and all this stuff, right? So the montage ends. The breakup. So you hear him going, okay, guys, couple ground rules here. Don't jump off the bus. And then it shows him and he's like on a tour bus for Chicago. And then, bro, he is killing. Like, he is pretty much doing stand-up.
Okay.
And you watch it, and I swear to God, bro, if Vince Vaughn wasn't an actor, that's the job for him, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's just the vibe of how he talks fast and blah, blah, blah. And then like how he can make fun of things really quick while like pointing them out. You know what I mean? It was like perfect. He's just ripping this tour bus apart.
Ooh,
you know what
he's
I
having
mean?
a good set.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
One of those sets where you're like,
where I can walk on water? Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He gets it, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So he's ripping this tour bus. Okay.
Yeah.
He goes, you guys aren't going to have fun today. We are not at work today. We are on vacation. Let's get loose. Are you ready to see Chicago? I'm not going to ask you again. Are you ready to see Chicago? Yeah, he starts the tour, right? So they drive off. They drive past a thing, and the camera zooms in, and then it's Mary Lynn Gallery, okay? It's the Mary Lynn Gallery. And you hear a guy going, happy holidays, Mary Lynn Gallery. Happy holidays, Mary Lynn Gallery. And it's Justin Long.
Oh, wow.
Remember him?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, me and Sam were like, what happened to him? Everybody liked him, and he just disappeared.
Yeah, did everyone like him, or was he just being pushed hella hard?
I always liked him because he kills side roles like these.
Okay. Yeah.
You've seen Zack and Miri make a porno?
No.
And you've never seen this?
No.
He has like all the movies that he has these amazing side roles.
Yeah, because I remember Accepted.
No, it's funny. I don't think of him in Lee. When I think of him, I think of Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
You ever seen that?
No.
Terrifying movie. I don't like horror movies, but I had to see that one. It was horrifying.
Okay.
And then this movie and Zack and Miri make a porno because he's just ridiculous.
I remember him from the Mac PC ads.
He was in those too.
I mean, yeah, he was Mac.
He was in those two. I forgot about that.
That was a great advertising
run.
campaign.
Yeah, dude. But he just disappeared though.
Did he? Or have we just not seen? I guess.
What do you mean?
Did he, or have we just not seen him? Did he disappear? Or have we just not seen him? Yeah. Yeah.
My boy,
that's why I stopped myself in the middle. I was like, oh, yeah. I feel like I've seen him recently in something. Been like, it's Justin Long.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything in a while. Anyway.
Yeah, the mid 2000s.
So he has long hair.
His time.
Oh, he was killing it, bro. He has long. He looks like this weird gay Asian, right? He just looks ridiculous. He looks really funny. And so he's like, "Happy holidays, Mary Lynn Gallery." And then she's showing off this $350,000 painting to some dude, right? And then she comes over to him and she goes, "Justin, she goes, she gets like really mad at him for constantly saying happy holidays. She's like, we're not here near a holiday. She goes, it's not a holiday, so don't say happy holidays. And he goes, well, I like to represent all holidays, and when I'm near all holidays, so I like to represent everything. And she goes like, what holidays? Well, he goes, oh, there's plenty. There's Flag Day, there's Arbor Day. Some people recognize Father's Day as a holiday. I don't. He goes, she goes, well, okay, well, on those days you can say happy holidays, but every other day I need you to just say Mary Lynn Gallery, or, I'm going to kill you. Right. And he's like, okay. And so she's showing it back to this time. And bro, this nigga that she's showing this painting to looks exactly like Tom Brady. Like, you're going to see, bro, I'm telling you, you're going to see him be like, get the fuck out of here. It's Tom Brady. So and she's talking to him, and she's showing him all this weird art, and he's being like charming and being like, yo, he doesn't get it, and he doesn't get art like that, blah, blah, blah. And then she explains how picking art is like picking a mate. It's really important. So cuts to that night, right? Vince is coming into their place. They have a really nice condo.
Yeah.
And she's cooking this huge dinner. Okay, like a huge dinner for like clearly a lot of people, like, you know what I mean, like a big dinner. Yeah. And then he's like, "Whoa, got a lot happening here. It looks great." Oh, she's like, "Oh, hey, honey," blah blah blah. And then they kiss. He's like, "Oh," he takes some of the chicken. He's like, "Ooh, that was hot. Oh, but it tastes great." Blah blah blah. And she's like, "Oh, thanks, baby." She's like, "Hey, honey, can you run and get ready real quick? I got a lot of stuff I need some help with." Blah blah blah. And he goes, "Oh, of course." And he goes, "Yeah." And then he goes and he just grabs a beer, and then he just cuts the TV on and sits down, right?
Yeah.
And then she goes, and then she's going through the groceries yet, and then she goes, Gary. And she runs into the thing, and she goes, and he's sitting there, goes, what, babe? And she goes, you got 3 lemons. And he goes, what my baby wants, my baby gets, you know that. And she goes, no, but baby wanted 12. Baby wanted 12 lemons. And he goes, well, why would you want 12 lemons? And she goes, I'm making a 12 lemon centerpiece. I need 12 lemons. And he goes, so these aren't edible lemons? And then she goes, no, they're for display. She goes, see, these are show lemons. He goes, okay, well, you know what? That chicken that just burnt my mouth, that was really hot. Why don't we take these show lemons, dice them up, make them edible lemons, put them in the chicken. See, now we're making stuff. Now, and she goes, hey, what is happening right now? What's happening? You're sitting down. You're not helping. Like, what are you doing? He goes, what are you talking about? And she goes, people are going to be here in like 3 hours. I need you to set no. She goes, I've been cooking for 3 hours. I'm doing everything. I just need some help. Can you go set the table at least? And then he looks over and the table is like halfway set, right? And he goes, honey, look at that great job you did. Don't you want that sense of accomplishment? That feeling of like you did the rest of it
guy's
yourself?
Lazy as hell.
Bro, he ain't shit. But he's smooth talking though.
Shit,
The whole time he's like so smooth with it. Oh, he's a piece of shit. I watched this. As a kid, I always liked him. But now that I'm older, I was like, oh my God, this dude, she's not asking for much.
Yeah, it's not like she's asking for him to change a lot of things.
It's like, dude, you're having a dinner party. People are coming. Like, she's just saying, hey, can you not like watch TV and chill right at this second? And I asked for 12 lemons. It's not like.
Yeah. Well, how'd you get 3?
I said 12.
Yeah.
Or how do we have the argument when I asked for 12?
Yeah, this seems like it's not like it seems like he's missing a lot here.
What do you mean?
Like he's just missing a lot. It's just like,
oh, we get there. Okay. So he smiles and he goes and like gives her some shit and he's like, hey, about the table. He goes, hey, listen, do you think when Michelangelo was painting the 16 chapels, he got to the 15th one and was like, oh, you know what? Other painters, I had a lot of fun painting the first 15 chapels, but this 16th one, why don't we all start painting and help out? He goes, no. And then she looks at him and she goes, what are you? And she goes, no, he didn't. And that's why it's the 16 chapels. And that's why they're great. You can finish that table, right? And she goes, first off, it's the 16th chapel.
Sistine.
Sistine Chapel. And she goes, and I bet when Michelangelo asked for 12 brushes, they didn't bring him 3. And then he goes.
It's a good line.
Great line, right?
That's a good line.
So she goes, and he kind of looks at her and he just goes back to watching the highlights, like baseball highlights, right? And then she goes, oh, Gary, come on, stop, please. I don't want the doorbell to ring. And we still got to do all this stuff. And you still have to shower. And all this is going to get ready. He goes, oh, don't worry. It's not going to happen. Of course. Doorbell rings. And he's like, oh. And she's like, all right, just help me set the table and open the door for my parents, please. And he's like, I'm going to go hop in the shower. And she's like, Gary. He's like, I'm going to hop in the shower. And he's like, Gary. And he leaves, right? And she's like, ugh. And she just like has all this, like, and the doorbell's ringing. And she's just like, and the food, she's just looking around like, Yeah. Also, by the way, I should mention, she is hot as fuck.
Okay.
This is prime time, Jennifer Aniston.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
But you're going to see, it's just because there's a lot of shots where you're just like, bro, act right.
Oh, yeah. You're Vince Vaughn.
Yeah. Could be a Sam, but just like, yo, this bitch is so bad and she ain't asking for much.
Yeah, she's not asking for much. You work as a tour guide? Like, come on, man.
She works as a painter. You both, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Chill out.
You're like hitting way above your league right now. Like way above.
She seems pretty chill.
Yeah, she's asking you to set the table and take a shower.
Nothing so far, right?
Yeah.
Nothing crazy so far.
Yeah.
Okay, because I like movies like this because I like relationship movies to me are fun because it's not about, of course, with the acting and it's also rom-com, whatever, but I like discussing this part where you're like, what do you feel about the girl so far and the guy so far? You feel like he's a lazy guy?
Yeah, I feel like she's not, right now, she's not asking for much.
Okay. Love it.
Right now. If she's the type of person that has these dinner parties every day, then it's like, okay.
Exactly. But right now, as far as you know, you're like, dude, come on, get some lemons, go take a shower, set the table.
There's 162 games of baseball.
It's also highlights.
Yeah. And also, around this time, the internet was still a thing. You could just watch the highlights online. MLB.com, great highlight service.
And it's sports. And also, if you know SportsCenter,
it's
wait an hour, dude.
Yeah,
it's coming right back. Same highlights. So
you're in Boston. You're Red Sox. They have your highlights for sure. Or are they in Chicago?
Chicago.
Either way, the Cubs. They still have your highlights.
Dude, they're going to play.
You're the Cubs. It's not like you're the Rays.
Shitting on Marlins right now.
Stupid. And Marlins. Sorry, all those Florida teams. Tampa Bay, Florida. Fuck you.
Sorry, all our Marlins listeners.
Yeah. Get a team. Stop selling them off once they become good. That's some Marlins baseball.
Yeah, you got them.
Yeah,
a couple people who got it were like, oh, that son of a bitch.
Yeah. More like the fire sale Marlins.
Oh, this nigga. Oh, that was for my dad.
Yeah.
All right, so cut to they're at the dinner table. Okay, now this to me, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. Funniest scene in the movie, and I argue one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in my life. I can quote this scene by heart. We used to quote this scene at school in high school all the time. Okay. It was like one of those kind of funny ass scenes. So at the dinner table, all the family's sitting together, okay? And they toast. And you're gonna recognize a lot of that. You recognize every actor for the dinner table. Okay. You recognize all of them, okay? So they start having dinner, and Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn start bickering about how he wants a pool table, and she's like, how a pool table isn't going to fit, and then he's like, oh, I think it will fit, blah, 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 and she's like, well, this isn't a dorm, and they start arguing, he just makes it really awkward, right, and everybody's kind of sitting there, and then Vincent D'Onofrio, his brother, breaks the silence, okay, and he's like, oh, food's great, you know, and then she's like, oh, thanks, and then he starts talking, and then she goes, one of the dad, Jennifer Aniston's dad goes, well, I think it's time for the joke of the day. And then one of her brother, who's this, I don't know his name, but you're going to recognize him from a million things. You know what I mean? He's so funny, a comedic actor. And he's so, like, you're going to be like, oh, that guy, dude. I mean, like, I think he might have been on the Daily Show or some shit like that. He's like one of those kind of guys. Like, he's so funny. So,
well, how does he look like?
White guy, kind of looks like Colbert a little bit.
All right, cool.
But comedic guy, right when you see him, you're like, oh, that nigga. All right. I wish I had looked up his name. I didn't. So he's this flamboyant as fuck guy. Okay, and he goes, oh, I love the joke of the day. He gets all excited, right? And then the dad says like some corny knock joke, and then Vince Vaughn other brother, not D'Onofrio, but his other brother, who's in Good Will Hunting. All right, not Casey Affleck but the other guy, the guy who, you know, there's four of them, not famous one. Him. All right. So he's the other brother. And then he tells, like, he's like, all right, some Asian chick and some fucking big dick black guy walk into a bar. And then Vince Vaughn goes, okay. He just like cuts it off. Yeah. You know? And then the dad, Jennifer Aniston's dad asks Vincent D'Onofrio, the brother, goes, oh, so how's the tour business going? And you find out they all run the tour business together. So it's they all own and operate this tour business, okay? And then the brother's like all nervous and talking about it, and he's telling him how, but he's like all excited, and he's like, you know, we're doing really good, and right now we're thinking about, you know, taking it to the squids. And then the brother's like, the squids? And he's like, boats. We're gonna get boats, and then eventually one day maybe helicopters, and just, you know, make it a big tour on all of Chicago. And then the brother looks at him and he goes,
which brother?
The flamboyant, the Jennifer Aniston's flamboyant ass brother, right? He goes, he's looking. It's like quiet for a minute, and and he's just staring at him intensely. And he goes, "You know, Dennis, when you talk about your business, the way your face lights up, it's inspiring to me." Like, right? Like, he's just so intense. And then I was like, all right, yeah, you know. And he goes, it's inspiring. And he goes, and Jennifer Aniston, like, she's looking at him like she's trying not to laugh, and she's looking at Vince Vaughn and like, oh no, what's he about to, like, because you can tell, like, he's about to do something, like, he's so intense, right? And then he goes, now, I don't feel it about boats per se, but I do feel it. Bro, it's so stupid, I'm sorry. He goes, but I do feel it about singing.
And then he starts singing
with my a cappella group, the Tone Rangers. Greatest name of all time.
That's great name.
Okay. And he goes, it's a musical team. It's really more like a symphony of guys. Right? And everybody's just like, oh, this fucking dude, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes, everyone's just looking at him. He goes, you know, I guess the best way to probably put it into words would be, and they're looking at him just like that, okay? And he goes, and even that doesn't quite do it, okay? That isn't enough, you know? Because it's just one person. Okay, you know what? Let me show you. Dad, here we go. How about a little percussion? Tap, tap, tapping. Tap, tap, tapping. Tap, tap. And the dad starts like tapping, right?
What is happening?
Tap, tap, tapping. And he goes, and mom, hi-hat. And the mom starts doing it, right? And he goes, and Gary, on the kick drum. Come. With the kick drum. That's Gary. On the kick drum. And Vince Vaughn's like, he's like, and Gary with the kick drum, go. And Gary, he's in the house. Come with the kick drum. And Gary's like, I'm not a kick drum kind of guy. I'd rather just watch. Let me just watch. And he goes, you know what, Gary? That's your right. That's your prerogative. But I got to talk to Brooke about something. And that's the bass line. And he gets up and he runs over and she's like, oh God. And he goes, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And the family's still doing the thing. Do-do-do-do-do. And then she goes, do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. And then he goes around the table and he gets everybody, do-do-do-do-do-do. And then the brother's like, do-do-do. Like, they're all into it, right?
Yeah.
And then this nigga goes to the last verse. He's like, and tink, tink, and tink, 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 and tink, tink, and tink, tink, tink. And then Vince Vaughn's like, what the fuck? And he goes right in his motherfucking grill, bro. And he's like, lose yourself with every chance you take. never thinking of the future. And Vince Vaughn is just like, what the fuck? And he's like, and grew yourself with every chance you take, so the story goes. And then it like Vince Vaughn like this, and then it cuts to it. It's like everybody leaving, and he still has the exact same face. And he's like just by the door now. Favorite scene in the movie, bro. So funny, bro. When you see it, you just go like, yo, this nigga is, because he's killing it also, which is so crazy. So
it's like, man, Vince Vaughn, get into this.
Yo, at a certain point, when he got everybody else, I'm like, all right, bro, he got me.
Doing this,
when he hit the baseline, the boo, I was like, all right, we're here. And the dad, though, you are like, what the tap, tapping. It's so fun. He's also such a good comedic actor. Oh, I wish I looked up his name. He's so good. So
not that good.
So they all leave, right? And everybody's saying goodbye. And then he's being nice. Vince Vaughn, he's saying bye to the brothers and everything, and his brothers, and then the parents, and then the flamboyant ass nigga walks by, and he goes, oh my God, honey, I had such a great time seeing you. And then he goes, and you, buddy, I want you to come to a live showing of the Tone Rangers. And Vince Vaughn cuts off, good night. And then he goes, okay. And they walk off, right? So she closes the door, and then he kind of goes off, and then she's like, like that sigh of like, done, you know? And she turns around, and then she already hears like, and he's like playing video games, right? And then she looks over at the kitchen, and the table's filthy, and the kitchen's filthy, right? And then she goes, I'm gonna go do the dishes, Gary. And then he goes, oh, that's great, thank you, great. And then she goes, it'd be nice if you helped. And he goes, oh, no problem. Just a little bit later, honey. Just give me a second. I'm so tired. And then she goes, come on, Gary, 15 minutes. And he goes, oh, honey, I'm so exhausted. Come on, just let my food digest. Let me enjoy some quiet. And then how about this? We'll do it tomorrow. And she goes, oh, Gary, I don't like waking up to a dirty kitchen. And he goes, who cares? And she goes, I care. And it, like the scene jumps, so it's like they start acting too, by the way. And then she goes, I did all this shit. I did this, I did that. And you just didn't even say thank you once today. And then he goes, and he throws the remote, and he goes, fine, I'll help you. And then she goes, no, that's not what I want. He goes, what, you want me to do the dishes? Now you don't want me to do this. She goes, no, I want you to want to do the dishes. And he goes like, why the fuck would I want to do the dishes? You know what I mean? Like it's fair on his side. I'm so on her side.
That's an idiot thing to say, but I get his logic. Well, who wants to do the dishes?
Yeah, but it's like clearly, how do you think that's what she's talking about?
Yeah, I mean, clearly you should also help out with the dishes. Oh my God.
It's also not like they ate. It's like dinner party dishes. You know what I mean? Like all these people. It's like, bro.
It's like you're an adult. You don't want that in your house.
And either. You know what else? She didn't say stop playing video games.
No.
That's why I don't mind this. I don't think this is bad because it's like she never once was like, oh, you're doing this, doing that. She was just like, hey, 15 minutes.
It's true.
We'll do the dishes.
Go back to playing video games after.
Do whatever the fuck you want. Maybe fuck me. I don't know.
That's a good point.
But definitely just 15 minutes. That's all she asked for. You know? So he says that idiot shit. Who would want to do the dishes? And then she goes, never, whatever, never mind. And then she goes, he goes, oh my God, you're acting crazy. And she goes, don't call me crazy. She goes, Gary, I asked you just to bring me 12 lemons and you brought me 3. And he goes, Jesus Christ, now we're back on the lemons. And he starts going all the way like to 10. You know what I mean? Because he's not seeing what he's like, how did you give me? He's like, I'd have known the lemons were such a big fucking deal. I'd have made sure everybody left with their own goddamn private bag of 12 fucking lemons. And then she's like, and then, they're looking at each other, and then he like tries to like calm it down and coerce it into some sex. And then she's like, no, that's not what I want. Get off. You're not helping right now. And then she's like, I do everything. I do everything for you. And it would just be nice to just get some flowers for once. And then he's like, you told me on our first date you hate flowers. And she's like, Gary, every girl likes flowers. He goes, well, why would you tell me you hate flowers, blah, blah, blah. And she's just looking at him like, which is also classic. Like, bro, it's women say they want you to just do it.
Yeah.
Idiot.
They're also just trying to get you to like them. It's the first date. You say some shit.
Yeah, you're just saying shit like, oh, I don't mind that you don't pay for flowers. Like, you're just saying shit. You throwing shit out. So they're going off, right? And then she goes, she goes, and what about the ballet? You never taken me to the ballet. That's all I've ever wanted to do. And she goes, I hate the fucking ballet. He goes, I hate the goddamn ballet. And she goes, it's not about that. It's about the person you love loves the ballet. He's like, you know that I don't like the ballet. We can go anywhere together, just not the ballet. He goes, besides, and then she goes, we don't go anywhere together. What are you talking about? He goes, we don't go anywhere together. We just went to Ann Arbor together. And she goes, yeah, we went to Ann Arbor for the Notre Dame, Michigan football game. You think that was fun for me? You think I had a great time with all those college kids? I did that for you, man. That was for you. And he's like an idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's just super dumb.
Yeah, most guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I'm watching this is like, man, damn. I've made, because I ain't gonna front. I've made the classic like, don't give me anything for Christmas, and then I didn't mistake, and then I paid for that dearly. So it's like, yeah, man, be in a relationship, motherfucker, bro. So he, they're going off, right? And then she goes, I did that for you. And then he changes the subject. He goes, I'm up on that tour bus every goddamn day. I do that for us. Like, you know what I mean? Like all that shit.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I'm working to be the best tour guide in the goddamn city. And it'd be nice if you showed some appreciation for that and didn't nag me all the time. And she goes, nag? You think I nag you? And she goes, that's all you do. Carry this, carry that. Your belt doesn't match. Clean this up. Nothing I ever do is good enough. And I just want to be left the hell alone. And she's staring at him like, and then he goes into the other room and he just starts playing video games again, right? And he comes in, he goes, really? She goes, really? That's what you want? You want to be left alone? He goes, yeah, that's what I want. And he goes, well, fine. Fucking fine. Play your games. Have fun. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I deserve someone who gives a shit. And she starts crying. I don't deserve this. You're a fucking prick. And she closes the door, right? Goes into the bedroom. He sits there for a minute. Keeps playing Grand Theft Auto. It's funny. It's Grand Theft Auto, by the way. And he throws the controller. Then he goes up to her door. Then he leaves.
Classic almost knocks.
The almost knock,
Like
bro.
classic almost knock.
Right. So Aniston calls her sister. Okay. You recognize her from, you ever seen Big Daddy? With Adam Sandler?
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Oh, okay. She's the main girl in that. So that's the sister. So she calls her and then she goes off, right, about the argument and what just happened and how all this stuff. And right, she felt like she had no choice. And she was like, oh, but I don't want to break up with him. She's like, I just want him to say thank you every once in a while. You know what I mean? I just want him to take me to the ballet. She goes, I just want him to care about this relationship. And she goes, but tonight just got out of hand. Hopefully he'll realize, he has some changes to do and he'll come home and apologize. And that's just what's going to happen. Okay. And then it cuts to him and he's at the bar and he's talking to Favreau. And Favreau is like behind the bar, like bartender, right? And Favreau's like, he's drinking and Favreau's like, she hurt you. It's okay. And he goes, and then Vince Vaughn's like, I'm shocked. He goes, I'm just shocked, man. He goes, yeah, you're devastated. He goes, but I'm going to solve your problem right now. Favreau goes, I'm going to solve your problem. What's his name? And then Vince goes, what? He goes, you tell me his name right now. What's his name? What's the guy's name? He goes, what guy? The guy she's fucking. What's his name? He goes, what? I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, do you check her emails? He's like, dude, you're reading way too much into this.
Yeah.
He goes, we got to check her emails, man. You never know what the fuck she's doing. He starts going like off on like some crazy shit, right?
That's fine.
And then he goes, look, man, maybe she's with another guy. Maybe she's not. I'm no Columbo, but I do know this. That girl doesn't want to be with me anymore. And I believe her. Vince Vaughn looks at him. He goes, you need a place to go tonight? You come to my place. You stay with me. And he goes, Vince Vaughn's like, I'm not moving out of the place. It's my place. I'm not moving out of the place. And he goes, yeah, but blah, blah, but do you own the place? And then he goes, I mean, yeah, with her. And then John goes, I'll leave you a key. And then he goes, I'm not moving out the place. It's my place. You think I'm moving out the place? I'll leave you a key. And then he leaves, right? And then he's like, I'm not. He's like, I'm not moving out the fucking place, right? And so,
oh, you're moving out the place. Dumbass.
So Aniston stays like she's just in her bed, right? She just stayed up all night. Like she's still up. Vince comes home, it's really late, and he goes to the door, goes to the bedroom again. Right? Just pulls out the bedroom, like the living room sofa, and just sleeps on the living room, right? So it's the next morning, right? And at work, Vince is talking to his brother, the one from Good Will Hunting. And his brother, like he's giving him advice. He's like, you know what you need to do? And then Vince is like, what? He's like, you got to find somebody who looks like Brooke, but way hotter, and then you got to bang the shit out of her. And he's like, yeah, man, I got it. Something's wrong with you. You know?
Also, good luck. Find someone hotter than
yeah, dude, she's
Jennifer Aniston.
In her prime, too?
Yeah.
So he goes, the other, D'Onofrio comes in, right? And he goes, he goes, hey, Vince, I need your tour logs. And he goes, look, man, I'm going through a life change right now. He goes, Gary, blah, blah, blah. Look, man, I know you, whatever, but I need your tour logs. You're 3 months behind. I need those logs. That shit's important for our taxes. We got to do it. You got to do it. I need the logs. And he's like, look, man, I need your sensitivity right now. I'm going through something. And he drives off, right?
Yeah.
So at her job, Justin Long is consoling her for her break.
He's not even doing his job.
What?
Vince Vaughn. He's like getting like if that's tax important stuff to a business, and you're 3 months behind.
Yeah, and it's a family-owned business. It's just you three, and he's telling you like, "Hey, man."
Yeah, man, you're a motherfucker.
Son doesn't like you right now, Vince.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. Keep going.
I was like with you.
Okay.
I don't like him right now either. I was very upset the whole movie. I'm like, because she's cool so far.
I mean, it's not even about this party. Isn't even about her. It's about your fucking brothers who are running a business.
Well, yeah, you're making it about other stuff too. Yeah, I was just talking about the relationship. But you're right. No, you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
All his relationships are fucked up.
Because no one's asking for much. Do your tour logs.
Do your job and wash the dishes.
Yeah, that's
yo.
And then play Grand Theft Auto, dude, all day. So
go to the ballet once, man. Do some shit you don't want to do. You ever do homework? That's training later in life to just do some shit you don't want to do.
Also, this is what I thought. How cool is this chick? She went to the Notre Dame Michigan game and like had a good time with you.
Yeah, to Ann Arbor. Who wants to go there?
You can't go to a fucking ballet. That's what a ballet is to her, nigga. A Michigan Notre Dame game.
Man, what if you like it? Yeah. You just hate the ballet because it seems feminine, but you could be like, oh man, this is beautiful.
This is really beautiful.
You have no idea.
Or you sit there and go, you know what? My girl appreciated it. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Done. Night's over. I'm going to fuck.
You're going to fuck her that night because you took her to the ballet.
Anyway. So at her job, Justin Long's consoling her for the breakup. And she's like, how the hell do you know about this, right? And he's like, your mom called me this morning and told me everything. And she's looking at him like, what? And then right then the Marilyn Dean, the chick of the gallery.
So that technically they still live in the same house, but it's pretty much over.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, all right. So yeah. You see where this headed. So at the job, the Marilyn Dean chick comes down, and she's pretty much like the Edna Mode lady from Incredibles, like darling, like that kind of woman. All right, and she runs the art gallery. Okay, and she's going off about how she keeps referring to herself in the third person, like Marilyn Dean does this. You know what I mean? And she says how when you look like shit, Marilyn Dean looks like shit. She's like, so go home, take the rest of the day to be sad, and then come back tomorrow ready for business, right? Because she's talking about how she looks sad.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like that at her job, right? Yeah. So she goes home and she hears rock music playing. She's like, what the fuck? She opens the door, and she looks in the living room, still a mess, like he still slept there and everything's still pulled out. And then she goes over to the other side, and there's now a pool table in the dining room. Okay, and he's playing with his boys. And he's like listening to the rock music really loud. And then she goes, what the hell are you doing? And he goes, well, I've always wanted my own pool table. Just thought I'd rectify that. Hits a ball, right? And then the pans over, and it's to his boys in the room, and it's Jon Favreau and Jason Bateman.
Okay.
And and they're just like, exactly, just terrified of like, oh God, dude, why are we here? Like, we made a bad decision of being here for right now. You can just imagine the awkwardness of like,
why did I do this?
Yeah, why did I come over to play pool right now?
Why did I get myself involved?
Yeah,
this is like
because I clearly helped him move it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh God, I'm too close to this.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there and they're just like drinking their beers quietly.
The only reason you do that is if you hate the girl.
Yeah, they don't. They're like friends with the girl.
Yeah.
Like so. He says that, and then she goes, she looks at him, and then she drops all her shit and goes to her room pissed off, right? Yeah. Calls her sister, and her sister calms her down and gives her advice. She says, look, you got to let him know that you're not going to tolerate this, and you got to own your actions, and remember, whatever we do, we are always healthy. And she's like, you're right. And then it cuts to, and Jason Bateman's telling Vince Vaughn, he's like, hey man, I got to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, oh wow, we're hanging, blah, blah, blah. He's like, look, I don't want to be here. This is weird. And he goes, and most importantly, and then right then, she starts playing like girl power rock music, like really loud. And he goes, I don't want to listen to that shit. Right? And then right then the door opens and all his shit just comes flying out the room. And he goes, ordering a cab right now. And then Favreau goes, I'm coming with you. Right? And then they leave. And he's looking at all his stuff just getting thrown out this room, okay? Cut to now they're at a bowling alley. Jennifer Aniston and her sister.
Yeah.
And like a bunch of other people, like a bunch of other friends, right? And she's telling, and the sister's like, you did what? How is that healthy? He goes, what are you, 12 years old? And she goes, I listen to you. And then she goes, oh, whatever. And they start talking about it. And then as the sister looks up and she goes, unbelievable. And Vince Vaughn walks in and they all have matching bowling shirts on, right? Like this is a bowling team. And he goes, hey, what's up, guys? Like nothing's wrong. And he goes, hey, found my shirt on the floor. Thanks for laying it out for me. Right? And he sits down. And then she gets up. Jennifer Aniston gets up. She's mad. She goes, Gary, are you here for couples bowling? And he goes, yeah. And he puts on his bowling shoes. And she goes, well, don't you think we should go maybe discuss something first? And he goes, what? How your 47 average is killing us? Right, guys? Like he's like trying to talk shit. And then looking at her like, and then she goes, Gary, we're now singles, and there isn't room for two singles on this team. And then Gary's looking at him like, he looks around, he looks so confused, bro. This is so funny, dog, because he's like looking at him like what's happening right now, right? And then he goes, I don't know what's happening. I came to play on a team. And then she goes, you should leave. He goes, Brooke, when a man makes a commitment, he honors those commitments. He doesn't let personal emotion or family affairs get in the way of victory. Right? And he's dead serious, bro.
That's funny.
And then she goes, well, you know what? I think, you need to just leave right now, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, well, you know what? I think we should let the team decide. And she goes, no, we're not getting everybody involved. He goes, oh, why not? What's wrong, Castro? And she goes, Castro? He goes, Castro wouldn't let people vote. And she's like, okay, go. Let people vote. He goes, all right, who thinks I should leave the bowling team and Brooke should stay, even though she's a terrible bowler, right? And then he raises raise your hand, right? And then Jennifer Aniston and the other girl raise their hand. And he goes, figures. And then, of course, all the other women look at their men, and then all the men slowly raise their hands, right? And they look really they don't even look at him. And he's like, he bends down, he grabs his bowling ball, and he goes, Band of Brothers, you should rent it sometime. And he gets up to leave, right? Mm-hmm. And then one of the sister's husband, he gets up. It's really lame kind of guy, right? He gets up and he goes, hey, Gary. And Gary goes, what? He goes, I'm sorry, man, but we need that shirt back. And Gary goes, it has my name on it. He goes, yeah, I know, but we actually know this other guy named Gary, and he's not as tall as you, but he's a pretty good bowler. And Vince Vaughn looks really heartbroken. He goes, well, he starts taking it off. I'm gonna need my wrist guard back. And then the guy looks down and he has a little bowling wrist guard.
Yeah.
He's like, but he's like, I need that back. If I can't have the shirt, you can't have my guard. And then he takes it up. That's and fair. Now he's like, exactly. Yeah. And I thought so too. That's the one fair thing he's done. Yeah, give me that guard, bro. Yeah. He takes the shirt off, he hands it to him. And then the guy's not wanting to give it up. And he goes, give me that goddamn wrist guard. Hope your fucking wrist snaps. And he storms out. You hear the door slam. He's just so mad, bro. Band of Brothers line, though. Hilarious.
Line. That's a good line.
Oh, my God. So that night, so she's all excited, right? And the sister looks up at him and she goes, wow, you see that? And she goes, yeah, that's awesome. You happy about that? She goes, yeah. She goes, yeah, you happy that your ex-boyfriend is now walking out shirtless? And she goes, you don't understand. He loves this bowling team. She said he's going to go get drunk. He's going to make a fool of himself. And she goes, and it will hit him. And then the sister goes, what will hit him? And she goes, that his life is falling apart, and I was the glue holding it together. So it cuts to him, right? And he's now at a nightclub with his crazy brother, the nuts brother.
Yeah.
And he goes, and the first thing the brother says is, man, this place is stacked with young, hot, dumbass. Vince is just as they're walking through this club, why are you yelling this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
God.
Yeah, just the brother kills it, just that idiot brother.
This is a funny character.
Just that
I
guy,
like this guy.
Pretty much, remember that Adam Ray joke? Bang, 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 bang. That guy.
Okay.
So he goes, they go walking through the club, and then Vince Vaughn's like, I gotta be honest, man, I'm not feeling it here. He goes, look, man, you don't understand. He goes, you've been locked up on the inside. The game has changed, Playboy. And he goes, he pretty much tells him how he was an outdoor cat. And then you had to learn to be an indoor cat, and you're getting your milk brought to you every day. And now you're back outdoors. You got to hunt for yourself. He goes, you don't understand. These young women, they need replies. They need answers fast. It's about now. Watch this. And then he looks over these two hot women, right? And he goes, all right, this is what I want to do to both of you. First, I'm going to get you both naked. Then I'm going to wrap you head to toe in saran wrap and poke 2 holes in there. One for your mouth so you can breathe, obviously. And then the girls just go, ugh, and then they get up immediately, right? And he goes, oh man, they were hot, right? They were hot. And then the brother's like, hey, you're going to get arrested.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You sound like a serial killer. Good God.
He goes, you're going to get arrested. And the brother goes, what, for being awesome? Best line of, come, I'm going to start saying that, dude. What for being awesome? And the brother,
fair.
Yeah, and then Vince Vaughn's just like, who are you? You know? And then he goes, you know, and then Vince Vaughn's like, you know, I'm getting out of here, blah, blah, blah. And he said, like, and he cracks on him a little bit. And he goes, hey, you tell your jokes. They'll make you feel better, but they don't get you fed. Right? So Vince Vaughn leaves. So Gary comes home that night, and Brooke, it's like late, and Brooke's drawing in the living room. Okay, she's like just sketching. She's got headphones in. She's looking so hot, bro. She's got like pajamas on. You know what I mean? And so he goes, hey, where are you sketching? And then she goes, the living room. He goes, no, that's my bedroom. You made that very clear when you so fucking claimed the other room. You know what I mean? And she goes, oh, Gary, come on. He goes, no, don't come on. And then he goes, this is my domain. This is my room now. And she goes, oh, well, what about that fucking pool table in there? He goes, that's a common area. You want to draw? Do it in the common area. And then he grabs her stuff and throws it in there, right? She's like, oh, don't throw my shit, right? And then he cuts on the TV. And it's like loud as shit, right? She's like, what are you doing? And then she cuts it off. He's like, what are you doing? It's like 3 a.m. And he's like, oh, doesn't matter. He's like, I'm single now, baby. This is Gary in his single hours. You don't know that time, Gary. He's like, I have weird hours when I'm single. I stay up all night, sleep all day. You don't know what I'm doing. He grabs some beers. And he's like, I want to watch. He's like, I'm going to get my highlights in. And then she's like, oh, no, you're not about to watch TV that loud right now, right? And then he says something to her like, oh, you're not going to tell me what to not do? And then, and she makes fun of how he talks like, oh, what to not do? God, you're an idiot, right? And he goes, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. My grandfather wasn't on the board of some fancy college. But let me ask you this, Brooke. Did he touch the Filipino exchange student? Did he not touch the Filipino exchange student? I don't know. I wasn't there, Brooke. And she goes, oh, don't you talk about family perversions? Your brother's a pervert. He goes, oh, my brother, don't you ever talk about my brother. What about your sister? And then she goes, oh, don't you talk about my sister. She's been through a lot. And then Gary's like, yeah, of dick. And she goes, oh, come on, that was not her problem. He goes, her problem. She slept with the entire Arizona Cardinals offensive line. That's a big problem. She's the problem. And then she goes, she was on vacation. She was on vacation. Yo, he's killing her in these arguments though, dog. Yeah. With the Filipino exchange student line.
The Arizona Cardinals offensive line.
Ooh. And so, And then she goes, and then he goes, and what about your brother? And then she goes, oh, don't you say anything about my brother. He goes, well, the guy come out of the closet, please. And she goes, oh, Richard is not gay. And he goes, oh, okay. You know what? Maybe he's not gay. And maybe he gets married one day and has a couple beautiful kids. But then one day his wife comes home and he's all oiled up with Mahulio from the Beach Boys band. And then they do some weird shit. And then she's like, and she storms off to her room, right? And he goes, that's right, honey. I'm watching highlights and I'm drinking beer and I got nothing to do mañana but sleeping, right? And then he cuts the TV on and he goes to watch. You hear the door slam. So the next morning,
also, your brother's totally gay.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean.
The Tone Rangers?
Yeah. You gotta.
It's a symphony of guys. He said a symphony of guys.
Yeah, you gotta, you know.
It's like his brother's a crazy pervert?
Yeah.
Very true.
Your brother's 100% gay.
Your sister used to be a whore. Doesn't mean she still is.
Yeah. Also, not really anything wrong with that.
Dude, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you fucked all the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah,
who says a whore's a bad thing? But I mean, I guess that's the technicality of what a whore is.
No, it only works because it makes her angry. If that didn't make her angry, he couldn't bring it up in an argument.
It seems like the sister's fine with it. She moved on, got married with kids.
Yeah, but Jennifer Aniston is not fine with it.
Yeah,
clearly, because it hurt him.
You got her. And he also killed her with the Filipino.
The Filipino thing is like, whoo, that's just, hey.
Yo, so whatever happened.
Yeah.
Did he not? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so that happened. If you didn't get mad about your sister, he couldn't use that, but that for sure happened. Oh my God, that for sure happened.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Oh, God. God, relationship arguments are crazy.
I wouldn't know. All right, next.
I know too well. No, I don't. 3 years. I'm sure I got some great ones coming. So.
You got some barn burners in your future.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Me and Sam got some ones cooking in the barrel. We've only had one real one so far, like a real argument. So I don't know what's going to happen. The next morning, he wakes, right? It's early in the morning. And he wakes to like faint singing. Mm-hmm. He's like, he puts the pillow over his ears. Like, He gets up and he comes down the hallway and and then he opens the door. Boogie Nights, come on out. We are here to party. And it's the Tone Rangers. Boogie Nights, here and now, just to get it started. This is the boogie. They're all just killing it, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, I need you guys, the a cappella boy group, out of my house. And then they keep singing. And the brother turns around. He goes, ooh. Sorry to tell you there, bro.
Brooke said this is a common area.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, sorry to tell you this. But Brooke said the bedroom is hers and you technically have no jurisdiction here. But you know what? Get on in here and have some fun with us. Come on and sing. And he takes his like little thing out of his hand, like a little flute thing. He goes, you have 10 seconds to get out of here or I break your little flute. You and your little fucking group need to get out of here right now. And then the dude fucking beats the shit out of him. He beats the shit out of Vince Vaughn. Chop, punch,
Yeah, dude.
slam, bam on the floor.
What are you, wait. That's your fault to think that gay dudes can't fight. The fuck?
Dude.
People try to kick their asses for centuries. You don't think gay dudes can fight?
Some
Get
of the
the
niggas
fuck out of here,
scrap,
dude.
bro.
Yeah, dude.
Scrap.
And also, it's like 4-on-1 or some shit. Like, what are you thinking?
So the rest of them keep singing. They never break. It's really funny. They don't break.
That's really funny. That's also really scary. If the other ones are like, oh, we don't need to break for this.
Yeah, we know. We've seen
How
him kick ass.
scary is that? We don't even need to get involved.
No, so he fucks him up, and then he's like nose is bleeding, and then he's like, please let me up, and he lets him up, and then he jumps right back into rhythm. Down on the boogie, do it. He goes, you don't take a pitchfork out of you don't take a high tuned pitcher out of a man's hand when he's doing a funky groove, Gary, and then just keeps on jamming, right? And Gary's trying to breathe. So cut to, Jennifer.
I like the pettiness of this.
Oh, yeah.
This is A+ petty right here.
Hey, that was A pay because she knew.
Yeah.
So Jennifer comes home, right? She opens the door slowly and she's like smiling. She's all coy. And then she walks in and she goes in the kitchen and he's sitting on the tile like this. And he's got like an ice pack on his fucking face.
Yeah.
He's real mad. And she looks at him. She's like, hey, what's going on? And he goes, what kind of bullshit move was that? And then she goes, what do you mean?
That was a great move.
He goes, you sent that animal here to attack me. And then she goes, no, the Tone Rangers needed a place to rehearse, and I provided that. And he goes, oh, that's how you want to play it? Huh? Because I'll call some friends to let them come over here too. And I'm not talking about queens who know a few grapples. I'm talking about Polacks who don't have a goddamn future. And that's how we're going to play it around this bitch. Like Lionel Richie all night long. And then she's like, oh, you're just embarrassed because he kicked your ass. He goes, Richard did not kick my ass.
He kicked your ass.
He goes, there's a big difference between between being half asleep and getting fooled with trickery and have someone sprinkle fairy dust and then strike your throat and then getting your ass kicked. And she's like, oh, you're crazy. And she goes, and by the way, there are messages on the voicemail regarding game night. It's our turn to host, so I'm assuming you need to call everybody and let them know. And he goes, I'm hosting game night. And she goes, really? You're going to host game night? He goes, I honor my commitments, Brooke. Okay? And she goes, really? All right, well, let's do that. Let's honor the commitments. And he goes, if anyone should feel weird, it's you, Tanya Harding. Because she sent someone to attack him.
Yeah.
And then she goes, all right, no, we'll do that. We'll honor the commitments. And then she leaves. And then so she's in the shower, and then he knocks on the door. He goes, hey, there's no food here. And she goes, yeah? He goes, well, what is everybody supposed to eat? You're a big boy. Figure it out. Cuts to this nigga just got one bag of chips. That's it. Everything else, the room, house still dirty, no dishes, everything's filthy, right? Right. So they're showing people come in, and then people are hanging, and then the sister and the brother from the bowling, right?
Yeah.
They come in. The sister and the husband, they come in, and then everybody's like, "Hey," and then he goes, "Hey." Gary goes, "Hey, those Benedict Arnolds aren't allowed in my place." And then she goes, whoa. These aren't Benedict Arnolds, and they are totally allowed here. And he goes, how about we take it to a vote now? Huh? Let's see who got the numbers now. How about that? He goes, if everyone thinks that her and him should leave and maybe take their shirts off when they leave, raise your hand. Right? He raises it, and then he goes one by one and tells all his friends to raise their hands, right? And he goes, John Favreau, raise your hand. Favreau's like, he's like, you, miss that he brought, what's your name? She goes, Diana. What's your name? Diana. What's her name? What's your name? You, miss, touch some sky. She's like, yeah. He goes around them, and then he gets to Jason Bateman, and he goes, hey, raise your hand. And he goes, hey, I'm on your side, but we also need 8 to play. He's like, he's like, come on, man, don't do me like this. You got to raise your hand. He goes, I want to raise your hand. You know that, but we also need 8 to play. Come on, put your hand down. It's okay. You can do this. Put your hand down. And then Vince Vaughn's like, puts his hand down. Cut to, they're all playing, right? And then they're all like about to play a game, and then it just because it shows the nerdy dude that he was trying to kick out. He goes to reach for a chip. He goes, hey, don't touch those chips. Those are my chips. Those are my chips. Those are my ruffles. You don't get any. And then the guy's like, and then Jim Ransom looks at him. He's like, they're my chips. I got them. Bro, this nigga's level of pettiness is insane.
That makes sense.
So they start playing Pictionary.
Are him and Jennifer Aniston on a team?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
You played before.
Yeah.
You know that can go bad. So Jason Bateman and his girl, right? They go and then they get theirs. They win. They get theirs, right? And so Vince Vaughn goes, all right, next one wins. If we get this, we win. And he's talking to Jennifer. He's like, all right, we got a mind mouth. You gotta be on the same page. And she's like, all right. He's like, come on, same page. He's like, all right, shut up. And so go. They start. She starts drawing something, and then everybody's like, shoe. It's a shoe. Shoe. He's like, and she's like, like that. He goes, shoe, small shoe, little shoe. And she's drawing it. She just keeps pointing at it. He's like, you can't point it. Draw something else. Everybody just keeps saying shoe. And he's like, a bigger shoe, a shoe and a shoe. And then the little lady in the shoe, old lady in the shoe. And he's like, and she just keeps pointing and smiling. He's like, draw something different. God damn it, you gotta draw something different. We're gonna run out of time. And she keeps pointing. And then finally the time goes off. And he's like, God damn it. Everyone said shoe. You didn't do anything. You gotta draw something different. What's wrong with you? What is this? And she goes, it's a sock, you asshole. And then he goes, if you think this is a sock, you're out of your goddamn mind, right? And then now they're just in front of everybody. What are you, a fucking 3-year-old or 3-year-old? And he goes, well, I thought you were supposed to be an artist. He goes, oh, and what? You think you're great because you spot art that other great men did? What have you done? Blah, blah, blah. And then they just going at each other, right? And everybody else is just like, oh my God. And then it cuts to, and they're sitting on the couch, opposite sides of the couch like this. You see the back of their heads. And then Jason Bateman sitting in between them, and he's like, okay. He goes, as a friend and as your realtor, I'm going to say this. He goes, we got to do something about this condo. And then Gary raises his hand, and he goes, yes, Gary. He goes, well, the only logical thing I can think of would be for her to move out, and then also for her to pay me some sort of damage for all the trauma I've had to deal with. And what she didn't do to this place. And then she goes, what do you mean? I did everything to this place. He goes, I put actual labor in this place. All she did was take a little fluffy thing and go floof some shit. And she goes, you mean aesthetic? I gave this place aesthetic. That's why it does. He goes, yeah, aesthetic. I did the actual tiling and the plumbing. That's what I did. She goes, plumbing? Oh my, she goes, what about the bathroom? It's either scalding hot or freezing cold. Oh, it's my fault you can't pace a shower? So hold on. It's my fault she can't pace a shower.
Pace a shower. I've never heard it called like that, but that's pretty perfect.
I've heard it called that way. Interesting.
Oh, really?
Never heard it called that way?
Never heard it called that. That's very perfect.
Oh, dude, great, right?
Yeah.
Pace a shower?
Pace a shower.
And so they start going hard at each other, and Jason Bateman goes, cheese and rice, guys. Come on, let's calm down. You're going to kill each other. He goes, realistically, neither one of you can pay this on your own. I know how much you both make. Either one of you can't afford this place on your own. And he goes, and as your realtor, I would say absolutely do not sell this place. It is way too good of a place to give up. It's worth too much money, and it's too nice. You're investing in it right now. But as your friend, you guys have no solution. This can't work. You guys got to get out of this. And then he goes, and also just want you to know I wouldn't take any commission on this. And then they go, oh, thank you. He goes, well, I mean, I wish I didn't have to, but company policy. And then they look at him. And he goes, I just meant in theory. I wish I didn't have to take a commission.
That's really funny.
Because he says it in that Jason Bateman way.
Yeah.
Like, guys, I'm just.
I gotta do it.
Yeah, exactly. Company
My hands are tied.
The company policy line of just like, And then he goes, so I'll be bringing people by all week. I promise you won't even know I'm here, and we're gonna sell it really fast. And he goes, now, as of right now, I think I'm gonna go and get back to Joan because we're really excited about the win tonight. Okay. And then he gets up and leaves. And then they're just both like, okay. So at work, she's at work now, right? And Brooke is talking to her sister on the phone. And she's saying how she's losing them and she doesn't know what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And then right then, Justin Long's doing like hand puppets, trying to make her laugh, just being so stupid, bro. He's like doing these hand puppets. Yeah. And he's like singing, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Like that. And then right then the Marilyn Dean lady comes in and she catches him. She's like, hey. And then he's like, Justin Long, he's so scared. And she's like, get your shit and get out of here. And he's like, and then she goes, no, it's fine. He was just trying to make me happy. Don't fire him. It was me. And then he runs and he goes and he sits in a corner and he's like, he just sits in a corner.
I really want to see Justin Long.
Bro,
as
he
this
looks
guy.
so stupid, dog.
Yeah, I'm really curious as to what he looks like.
So he's like, and he's sitting there, and then she goes, didn't I give you a day off to be sad? And then she's like, why are you still sad still? She's going off on her, and she was like, Marilyn, look, I need advice. And then she tells her everything that's going on, right? Like everything. And then she goes, okay, well, honestly, honey, this is paint by numbers, okay? So what you want to do is she says, go to Mishka, and she gives her a number. She's my personal waxer. You go and you get the Tell Us of Oz, all right? And then you show Gary your canvas with another man eager to paint it, okay, honey? And then she's like, like that.
Yeah.
So it cuts to her. She gets a wax, and then she's getting out the shower, right, Jennifer Aniston? She's looking in the mirror, and she's like, who loves you, baby? Drops her towel, starts walking down the hallway. You just see her back. You don't see her butt. You see like her back and shoulders. Bad, nigga. And Gary's playing like boxing video games, and he looks over. He's like this, right? Like, just like, oh, shit. And then she walks to the kitchen. She gets like a Pepsi. She drinks it. She walks back, and the song's like, who loves you, baby? It's playing. And then she walks back, and then he's like trying not to stare. And then he looks at her, and and then you see like her ass. Damn, nigga. Just tight. And just. Me and Sam, even Sam was like, God damn, Jennifer. You know what I mean? One of them shots like, and then she just kind of smirks and goes in. It's like, oh, you are bad. Whew. So, okay, relax, buddy. Your hat goes up.
That's funny.
The doorbell rings, right?
Yeah.
Some nerdy dude is at the door. It's the bad guy from the Paul Blart movie that we didn't like, Sid.
Sid Vec?
It's Sid Vec, dog.
Oh, God. I didn't like that character so much I remembered what his name
I know
was.
you. I didn't remember his name was Sid Vec.
Ugh.
So Sid Vec is the date, right?
Ugh. I can't believe he got another job.
He did. He got this. He got in this. So he like rings the doorbell, and then
I'm sure flatly and with no emotion.
No. He's in this one he's like kind of weird and squirmy, like nerdy, right? And then Vince answers the door and he looks at him, and then he's like, "Is Brooke here?" And then Vince goes, "I don't know," and he closes the door, and then the guy's like, and then he opens the door and he's like, "Brooke," and she's like, "I'll be out in a minute." He's like, "Okay," and then he stands over there and he just watches Vince Vaughn like play Grand Theft Auto, right? And he's just kind of looking at him like, "What the fuck?" And he goes, "So how do you know Brooke?" And then Vince Vaughn looks up and he goes, "How do I not know her? You know what I mean?" And the guy's like, "What the fuck?" And then Brooke comes out. She looks so bad. She comes out and she's like, "Oh, you ready to go?" And then he's like, "Yeah." And then the guy's like, "Oh, it's nice meeting you." And he goes, "Yeah, you too. Hey, by the way, apple martinis." And then she's like, "Let's go." And he goes, "What?" He's like, "Apple martinis, but 2, not 3. You get 3, she gets sloppy. You got to deal with her." She's like, "Let's go right now. Let's go." And then he's like kind of like smirking.
Oh, that's wow. What a power play.
Oh, dude, right?
What a power play.
Ruin your date right now.
Yeah.
So he acts like it doesn't bother her, but then he goes to the window and he kind of watches her drive off, right? So on the date, the dude, he's talking like an asshole, right? And he's like, well, we in the biz. This is right now the time we in the biz call this work time, right? And she's like, oh yeah. And then the waiter comes and then he's like, let's start with some apple martinis. And she's like, I'll take a water. He's like, just bring the apple martinis anyway. He goes, but it's not all work and no play, because after April 15th, that's what we in the biz call playtime. He's an accountant.
He's an accountant. Yeah. I was like, oh,
what a loser, dude.
Yeah.
So she goes, oh, wow. And then right then she gets a call from her sister and she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I got to answer this. She goes, hello? And then her sister goes, is this the time that you told me this is the time that you told me to call? And she goes, what? Oh my God, what do you mean? What happened? And the sister goes, nothing. And then she goes, oh, well, don't move. Don't move. Where are you? I'm sitting in my kitchen. Oh my God, the kitchen. All right, I'll be right there. All right. And then she goes, she hangs up. And then she goes, oh my God, my best friend just got in an accident. It's just her leg got caught in I gotta go. And then the guy's like, oh, can I give you a ride? Oh, your dress looks nice. And then she just runs off, right? And he's just like a loser. So she's talking to her sister.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Fuck Sid Vec.
Yeah, right? That guy sucks.
Fuck him.
So she goes with her sister, right? And she's talking about how that guy was a loser. Why'd you set me up with him, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, he's a friend of Andrew's and it was last minute and he's always been polite. And, it was somebody, I'm sorry that it didn't work out that way. He's just like, oh, we need to get someone that's actually going to make him jealous. Okay. So back at the office, like at the tour bus office, right? His brothers are talking to him about he's talking to the crazy brother. And he's like, oh, I know what's going on. You're just jealous. And then Vince Vaughn's like, oh, no, I'm not jealous. He's like, no, you're jealous. You're worried that he's a nerdy guy, but he might have like one of those huge nerdy dongs, Like those nerdy guys have huge dongs. And he's like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you?
I mean, this is a fact.
No, it's not a fact. Ladies,
absolutely a
do
fact.
not fuck him.
What?
Do not fuck. If I find out one of you Beaners fucked Hassan, one of you, Mom, I'm talking to you.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, Mom, but I couldn't help it.
That's how you ruin a bit.
Hey, come on. Elaine Bolson loves bits. She laughed. She definitely laughed. I know her. She laughed for sure. That woman's a psychopath. Melsina probably laughed too. I'm calling out both moms right now. Our two biggest listeners and only listeners. Thanks for keeping this podcast alive, ladies.
Yeah, true.
So, it's so funny. Where was I at, buddy?
Nerd dongs.
Nerd dongs.
And how they're totally big. Every single one.
No. Our moms are listening to this. No. So, D'Onofrio comes in, right? And he's yelling at him about, he's like, oh my God, you lost the condo? How could you lose the condo? This, that, and the third. He goes, tell me how losing your biggest asset, like a condo, helps us get on the river. And then he goes, Dennis, I don't need this shit right now. And then he's like, oh man, don't cry to me. Go cry to Mom, D'Onofrio. And he's looking at him and he's like, look, I know you have feelings here, but you broke up. Who cares? And then Vince Vaughn's like all sad looking. He's like, you broke up. All right. I know you broke up, but that money that you now have to spend on rent was an investment for the condo. That was an investment. Everything, you got to invest so we can get the company moving forward. We're not blowing money, And he goes, you finished? He goes, no, I need the tour logs. You haven't done your logs yet. He goes, you know what? Thanks for the heart-to-heart, Dennis. Really appreciate it. He goes, look, man, you're behind 3 months. And then Vince Vaughn goes, those logs are bullshit. He goes, and then he looks at him like, dude, you got to do them. He's like, just do them yourself. He goes, I can't do them myself because then it cuts into my time with my family that I'd like to spend with my family doing your logs, And then he goes,
I would fire my brother.
Yeah, if it was like I have to spend less time with my family because you don't want to work. Oh yeah, bro, you're out of here. I'm not fucking playing with you. When I'm clearly the boss too.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here. And then that's what the brother goes. I do the taxes. I do the billing every month. I do all the maintenance. I do everything. What do? You do the tours. And then he goes, I am the talent, Dennis. They wait in line for the next bus to see me. They order tickets months in advance to see me. So don't drain me with bullshit about the goddamn tour logs. And then he's looking at D'Onofrio's like, and he slams the door and he leaves. You fired him? Yeah, I know you fired him before he even started yelling.
Yeah. I was like, how long have I waited? I mean, unless he's an owner, then it's a whole different
Well, he's definitely
story.
a part owner.
Yeah. Well,
but I don't think he's the
I would be like,
I would assume if the brother's doing everything,
yeah,
you can get him out of it.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah,
If you're doing everything, I think legally I can probably get you out of it.
yeah, probably not actually. If
I could definitely get you out of it in a way. Like, no, you make
have
money.
to buy them out.
No, or you make money, but you physically are no longer involved with. I could. Me and the other brother could push you out. You know what I mean? Like you're getting paid. Whatever. But you are now not ruining my business.
Yes,
I would do that.
I would do that or buy them out. One of the two.
Or buy you out. But it's like I ain't trying to make you broke, but at the same time you don't get to touch this anymore.
Yeah.
I can't deal with this, especially in business. I can't play like that. Fuck out of here, dude. I'm trying to start a business.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm doing my part.
And I'm trying to get on the river.
Helicopters,
man.
I have a goals. Don't fuck with it. I don't like that. Don't fuck with me when I'm like, hey, bro.
Dude. He's not agree. So far, still not liking Vince Vaughn. Still not liking you.
Damn, Vince.
Mostly because of the business thing.
He's a horrible boyfriend.
Yeah, I mean, he's a terrible boyfriend, but there's so many terrible boyfriends.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
So,
the logs, he slams the door. That's where we're at.
Okay. So Gary is talking. He's back at the house, right? And he's playing Madden. And he's talking shit to some kid online. He's beating the shit out of him, right?
Yeah.
And he's just saying shit like, you're just talking just mad shit to him. Like, oh my God, you're so bad at it. Like, And then as this is happening, Brooke answers the door. Some really hot guy comes over for a date now. Okay. And Brooke looks bad. She looks extra sexy this time. And then she's like, I'm just going to be 1 minute. Just wait right here. And then she goes. And then he comes in and he looks over and he sees that he's playing Madden. And Gary's like, do you think your mom is going to love you less when she sees the score? He's like, shut up. And then the guy hangs up, right? The kid. And then Gary looks over, right? And just kind of looks at him for a second. And they look at each other. And then it cuts to her in the room. And then she's in the room and she's sitting all confident and she's doing all her hair. And she's like, And then she goes out finally, and then you hear him go making plays. And the guy's like, oh, great catch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, stop inviting the guys over. Go meet them. Come back with the guy.
Ooh, and have sex?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to do.
You just took it to a... But think about it. It's a game. It's a game.
Okay. That's fair.
This is a game. This is a game.
Isn't that the end goal?
To get back with him.
Is the angle to get back with him or get back at him?
No, get back with him. You haven't heard? She says, she keeps saying, she said twice now, I want him back.
Oh, you didn't say that.
I did say that. She said it. She said, I'm losing him to the sister. I feel like I'm losing him. You don't say that if you don't want to be with somebody.
I don't remember you saying that at all.
Oh, I said that. I did say that. When we go check the tape. I'm so glad this is recorded, baby.
All right.
Check the motherfucking tape.
I'll go over this
and
again.
Also, I said again later. She says she doesn't want to break up with him. She says she doesn't want to break up with him early in the movie to her mom when she's talking on the phone to her mom, and then she says it later. I mean, not the mom, the sister on the first time, and she says it. Then she's like, I feel like I'm losing him. You know what I mean? Like I'm losing him further, pretty much.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so she's trying to get back with him?
She does not want to break up. She's trying to make him jealous. Also, when she explained everything that was going on to the lady, she was explaining how she wants him back. I mean, I guess it didn't happen. She was explaining how she wants him back. She doesn't know how to get him back.
Okay.
But get him to act like, she keeps saying, I want him to act like how he wants. I want him to be thankful.
Okay. She just wants him to change.
Yeah. Every rom-com in history. You not seen a rom-com before?
Okay. That makes... I didn't know they were trying to get back. I thought they were still trying to just get at each other.
Well, they're definitely trying to get at each other.
Yeah.
There's that too. This is a game. This is a rom-com.
Okay. Well, then never mind about the bringing the guy back. That wouldn't help.
No, that would definitely end the game.
Yeah,
That's a game ender.
Yeah.
Because you can see they're both, it's mental, like, because they both want to win. That's what it's really about. Especially in a relationship like this, where you've been with somebody for a long time and you broke up. It's like I just want to, because we're gonna get back together probably, but I want to be the one that wins. You know what I mean? I want to be the one with the last say.
Okay.
Just like any relationship.
Okay.
So Gary is, they're playing Madden now, right? And then he's talking shit to the dude, and he goes, like, oh shit. He goes, see, your boys are out partying while my guys, they're out running routes. They're figuring it out. They're getting better. And then she goes, Mike, you ready? And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, Brooke, we got a real nail biter going right here. Do you mind if we finish the game? And then they both look at her like little kids, and she's like, sure. And then they're like, yeah, all right. And then they go back to play, and they're like, high five. Like, dude, he's rubbing it in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just little shit like that. Like, oh, now what, bitch?
Yeah.
Got him, And so they smile like they're children, right? And then he starts. It's like quick cuts. of him playing the game, but like talking shit. He goes, look, man, I'm just old school. You know what I mean? He goes, I don't like to do a lot of talking. I just play. Yet the whole time, and then another cut, and he goes, really, I'm just trying to get good enough to figure out how to beat myself. And you push and you push and you push yourself trying to achieve the impossible. And then you do. And then he hits the game winning touchdown. He's like, ah. And then the other guy's like, oh, man. And he's like, I can't take the credit for it, though, man. I can't take the credit. It's these 11 guys with the big digital hearts. It's them. And it's not me. And the guy's like, oh, man, you know what? It was a great meeting you, dog. And then they kind of hug. And then she goes, oh, you ready to go? And then Jennifer Aniston's like, yeah, I know this great martini bar. And then she looks back at him and he's like, and then they leave, right? And then Vince Vaughn kind of watches them leave, and he's really sad this time again. And this time he goes to the phone and he calls his wild brother. He goes, hey, round up some talent. Bring him over here. And the brother goes, where we going? He goes, like, what we doing tonight? He goes, poker, my place. He said, bring the girls. The brother's like, all right. Hangs up, right? That made you smile.
Ooh, we're ramping up.
We're ramping up, baby.
We're ramping up.
This is why I didn't want to give it away, because you talked about it. I was like, well, it's a game until it goes too far. Always.
Yeah. I was like, oh, we're ramping up.
So it cuts back to her like leaving, like with the guy, right? And they're going down the elevator, and then the guy's like, man, your roommate's amazing. He just keeps going on and on, man. He was so cool, so funny, and blah, blah, blah. And then it cuts to them in the car, and he's like, and he invited me to be on his new bowling team. Isn't that cool? And she's like, all right, I can't do this. Pull over. And then she gets out, and he goes, hey, wait, Brooke. Tell Gary to call me. And then he drives off. So she goes, and then she goes and she hangs out with her sister, right? And then she's all dressed up still. And her sister are giving like her kids a bath. And then they're talking about how awful it went. But, she's like, I still think it made him jealous. And, I think it worked out in the end, right? And it cuts back to him. And he's like, welcome everyone to Texas Hold'em strip poker. And he's with all these like hot ass Vegas kind of bitches. Like the one we saw with the titties out. Pretty much like 5 of them.
Just dealing cards?
Yeah, they're all playing, and they're like, we're going to play strip poker, and he says all the rules, and he's like, and after that, we're going to have a little dance competition right over here. The dance portion of the night right over here, and then one of the girls takes her top off, and she's like, shut up and deal, And so they start playing, right? So cut to Brooke comes home later, and she hears music playing from outside, like country music. What? She comes in, and then there's like a strobe light going. The room's black, but there's like a strobe light going. And she looks over, and then all the chicks are both naked, like dancing and like he's naked, and the brother's like got one on top of him. And they're not fucking, but she's like grinding on him. You know what I mean? And then she's just like, and then they make eye contact for a while, and then he just drinks something, and then she goes, and then she turns, and then she goes in the room. Right? So. She goes to bed, right? So the next morning the phone rings, and it's Jason Bateman, and he's like, I got great news, blah blah blah. And then she comes outside to her like place, and it's just trashed, and then he's like knocked out on the couch, and she's just kind of looking angrily at him. And then he wakes up later, and then he reads a note, and it says, "Condo sold out in 2 weeks." Okay, so at work she sells this painting, the Tom Brady looking nigga. Right. Okay. Like he's there, and she like convinces him to buy the painting. And then after he does, he goes, hey, you mind if I get your number and take you out to dinner? And she goes, actually, I have a boyfriend. I'm sorry. And then the Justin Long character's like, and then Tom Brady guy's like, oh, it's all good. I understand. Thank you for the painting. It was nice meeting you. He leaves, right? And then he's like, what are you doing? Why are you out of your mind? That guy was great. He's rich, hot guy. What are you doing? And then she goes, and your boyfriend's throwing fucking orgies, in your living room. And then she goes, I'm not innocent in this either, okay? And I know what I have to do now. I know. Cuts back to her that night, right?
For the life of me, I can't tell why she wants him back so much.
Love, dude. Man, our boy's gonna get his heart broken one day. He's like, man, I get all these rom-coms now. This ain't a game, bro. So you haven't had your heart broken yet.
No, but bro. She's also the one who started all this. Too. She was like
because her heart was broken. She wasn't getting I don't deserve it. Like I get it, bro. Just on the relationship side of like, I don't deserve this. I deserve better than this.
I get that.
But I don't want it to not be with you. You see what I'm saying?
You want to change his whole personality?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Bro, get your heart broken. And you find out. You're saying it like, what do you mean? It's just like, I know, dude. It's a motherfucker.
That's not gonna happen.
People don't. And I've been there. It's like, bro, you try to change people.
I've been there. You can't make people feel what you want them to feel.
And you try to change them.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in love. If you're in love, where you'll I'll go through extreme efforts to like see if I can get this person to like change and become this person that I want them to be. Because I think I love this person. Or I think I love this person, regardless. You know what I mean? Why you keep rolling your eyes?
No, I was like, I get it.
This is a real discussion.
Yeah.
So he's looking at him just and I was like, why wouldn't you do that? And he says, I know what I have to do. So Gary's watching baseball. He's at home. And she comes home and she's like, hi. He's like, hey. And she goes like, did you get my note? He's like, yeah, 2 weeks, huh? She's like, yeah. I brought boxes from work. If you need to use them to pack up, feel free. He's like, oh, thanks. And she goes, listen, a while ago I got you tickets for the old 97s, that band you really love. I got you these tickets a while ago, but that concert's tonight and I forgot about it. But if you want to go, And he goes, well, how many tickets you got? And she goes, 2. He's like, well, how much you want for him? And she's like, oh no, I want to go. And he's like, oh, so it'd be like the 2 of us. And she was like, I mean, yeah, and 2,000 other people. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, and she's like, I got them, so I just, I figured, you may want them, but don't worry about it, blah, blah. And he goes, no, sure, why not? And then she's like, are you sure about this? You don't have to. And he's like, no, I'll be there. It sounds great. And okay, all right. And she's like, all right, it's at the Riv. I'll leave your ticket at will call. See you there. I gotta go. And he's like, okay, right. So she leaves him the ticket, and then at the will call, and then she goes into the venue later that night, and she gets 2 beers, and then the show starts, and the show starts, and then she's there, and then goes on for a while, and she goes looking for him, and then it finally cuts to, and she's just sitting there throughout the concert, sad alone. All right. How you feel about that? Let's just stop for a minute. How do you feel about that?
So he doesn't show up.
He doesn't show up. He leaves her at the concert alone.
I feel that's very real.
How do you feel about him now?
How do I feel about him? I mean, that doesn't really change how I feel about him. So I get it, though. I get why he didn't go.
Oh, you're on his side.
I don't know if I'm on sides here, but it's like... It's like,
to me, that was the most asshole thing out of all the things.
To say that you were going to go and not go? He did say he was going to go.
Also, it's like, bro, we ain't no... We've been together. We lived together. Like,
he did say he was going to go.
Yeah. She said, are you sure?
Yeah. He should have said no.
He should have said, or at least maybe.
Yeah.
That way, it's like, if I don't go, you know what it was. Then I left it open. But to say, am I going to go? She said, yeah. And then are you sure you want to go? And then you were like, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, he's a bad dude. Straight up a bad dude.
Bad dude, bro.
Straight up a bad dude.
I didn't know that. I mean, I've seen the movie a bunch of times. I didn't know that till today watching it. Like, oh, he's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy.
So, where are we at? Oh, so
she's
Gary gets home.
alone.
Yeah,
okay.
Gary gets home late that night, right? Like late that night. She's in her room. He knocks on her door. He's like, Brooke? Hey, Brooke? And then she doesn't say anything. And then he opens it and he goes, you up? And she's like, yeah. And she turns and she's like just clearly crying, right? And then he goes, you okay? She goes, what do you want? And then she's like, she won't look at him. And he's like, I'm sorry I missed the concert. I'll pay you back for the ticket. And she goes, leave me alone, Gary. And he goes, I planned on going. I stopped at Johnny O's bar for a second. And then she's like, just shut up. It doesn't fucking matter. Just leave the room and shut the door.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah,
now?
she's just like bawling, right?
Yeah.
She still won't look at him, right? And then he goes, I didn't know, dumbest line in the movie, I didn't know it meant so much to you. And then she goes, exactly. Like, what are you talking about? Also, what do you mean I didn't know it meant so much to you? So
bad guy. He's a bad guy.
He goes, hold on a second here, Brooke. Brooke, you broke up with me. And then you have all these guys coming over for dates. And then she's bawling, crying. And she goes, Gary, I don't even know how we got here. Our whole relationship, I've cooked and cleaned, and I even lay out your clothes for you. I make all the plans. I make everything. And she goes, you don't appreciate any of it, not once, or me. She goes, I just want you to show me that you care. I just want you, She goes, why don't, and then he says, well, why don't you just say that? And she goes, I tried. I did everything. And then he goes, well, you might have implied it, but she goes, it doesn't matter. You are who you are. Just shut the door. And he goes, listen. She goes, Gary, leave the room. I don't want to be near you. And he's like, Brooke, please. And then she's like, she won't look at him again. And he stops and he closes the door, right? So he goes back to Favreau's bar and he tells him, how it's, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I feel so bad. And then Favreau goes, well, it's her fault anyway. And he looks at her and he goes, what? He goes, yeah, it's her fault. She got hurt. It's totally her fault. And he's like, what? He goes, listen, man, you're a fun guy. You're the most fun guy. Everyone loves you. Everyone loves being around you. You're the quickest guy I know, and you bring life to every party. But everyone who knows you knows you do what you want to do. Only. He goes, you never do what the other person wants to do. And then Favreau, Vince Vaughn's like, that's bullshit. What are you talking about? And he goes, all right. He goes, when? When something you didn't do. Tell me one time you did something you didn't want to do. And he goes, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. He goes, all right, give me one time we've ever been to a Sox game. Have we ever gone to a Sox game? I've gone to lots of Cubs games. And then he's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he goes, and he's like,
yeah, you're a dick.
he goes, he goes, that girl, she always did what you wanted to do. And your problem is, and he said, and the problem was she did like you, like for real. Like she really likes you. But no matter what you did, you never let your guard down with her. You never just let her in. That poor girl never had a chance with you, man. And then it cuts to her and she's just like running. So goes back to Jennifer and she goes up to Marilyn Dean's office, right? And she opens the door and then there's a naked man just standing there posing. She's like, and then she's like, get in here, darling. And she's just drawing his ass. Okay. And then she goes, Marilyn, I just want to tell you this is my last day. I'm going to go do some traveling. I got to get out of here. And then she goes, and then she writes a blank check. She goes, here, darling, this is a blank check. Write down any number you want. That's how much I'm willing to keep you. And then she's like, wow, this is great, but no, I can't do that. I got to leave, right? And she hands it back to her, and then she goes, well, I'll tell you what, darling. If you make it to Rome, go to this, she names this crazy kind of whorehouse. And she goes, go to a man and ask for Alberto and tell him compliments of MD. He'll know what it means. Enjoy yourself. And then she goes, and when you're done, your job will be right back here waiting for you. And then she's like shocked, like, wow, really? She's like, yeah, right? So,
she's funny.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
She's great. It cuts back to Jennifer and she's walking with the Tom Brady guy into her apartment, right? And she's like I said, I'm so sorry. The place is a mess. But, it's, and the Tom Brady guy's like, oh, don't worry. It's all good. And then she walks in and then she hears like really classy music playing. She's like, what the fuck? And then the place is clean as shit, like sparkly clean. And then she looks over and Vince Vaughn is dressed like crazy nice. Like not crazy nice, but like just put nice, together. Yeah. Like really compared to the whole movie. You know what I mean? He's like dressed really nice, And then he has this really nice, elaborate dinner and the wine glasses on. And then he's like, oh, and then he looks at the Tom Brady guy and then they're like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? And then she's like, oh, what's going on? And then he goes, how you doing? She's like, I'm fine. And he goes, can I talk to you in private? And then Tom Brady guy looks like, what? And then she goes, Gary, this isn't really a good time. And then the Tom Brady guy goes, I'll wait outside. She goes, no, you really don't have to leave. He goes, it's fine. And then he goes outside, right? And then she goes, Gary, I can't do this now. And he goes up because, hey, I've tried to act like this hasn't been tough on me. And it hit me Sunday because that's our day we always do stuff together. And then last night I saw you cry, and that was the worst moment of my life. Look, I know I've caused you a lot of pain. And funny thing is, I only want to make you smile. It's the only thing I actually want to do. And I know I always don't do or say the right thing, but I would love to take you to a dance class, or I would love to travel with you, or even go to the ballet. I would like to take the dance class or travel first, but if we had to do the ballet, I would do the ballet. But what I'm saying is, I want to do it because I know that it's important now to do it because you want to do it, and I love you, and I want to do the things you want to do, and and he's like, and I'm so sorry, and I promise I will do whatever it takes to make it up to you. And she's crying. He's crying. And he goes, and okay, that's all I wanted to say. And then she laughs. And then she goes, I don't know what to say. And she touches his heart. And she goes, I don't feel the same way anymore. And it's quiet. And this is where I was like, oh, Vince, because you've seen Hacksaw Ridge, right?
Yeah.
This is where I saw this, not then, but now that, oh yeah, it's some acting in this moment. There's some real deal acting. Like, oh, this thing can act.
Right.
Because the face change of like, he thought he had it to just like through the heart, just it hurt. Because she wanted to meet, she goes, I don't feel the same way anymore. And he's like, what? She goes, I just don't know. I just don't know how to take it. I just have nothing left to give you. And then he just like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what? And then she goes, I'm so sorry. And then she goes, also, I want to say this about relationships real quick, because this is shit I thought about when I saw this scene. That takes a lot of power on her end. Or his, I mean, it could have been anybody, but her end for this specifically, because when you love somebody, bro, and then they finally do the thing that you want, but to still have the power and sense to be like, I can't do this anymore.
No, it's too much. It's too many games.
But that's a powerful decision, man, and a hard one to make, bro. When you think about like, damn, you've been with this nigga, and
you still live together.
You still live together, and now this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
This is what you finally wanted. But you got to make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that I saw. I was like, oh, that's a very interesting, because I love rom-coms, and I love the fascination of relationship shit, and it's like, especially where a rom-com ends like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So she's saying, I don't have anything left to give. And then he's like, and she goes, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. And then he goes, it's okay. And he kisses her on the forehead. And he goes, I made a dinner. I don't know if it's any good, but you're welcome to have it. You know, he's great acting, bro. And he walks out and he leaves. And then he gets in the elevator and he's just crying. And it's just on him. And then the elevator doors close and you can see the Tom Brady guy like what the fuck? Really, I mean, great shit, like, whoa, like, and then the door opens, she comes outside, and she's like, I'm so sorry about that. And he's like, no, it's fine, it's fine. She's like, come in. And he comes in, and then he's just buying a piece of art from her. That's all he was really doing. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like they're going on a date or something, but really, he's like, I'll take it. And she's like, I'm glad you like this piece, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, it's beautiful. I definitely want it. She's like, all right, I'll have it at your place in like 2 days. He's like, oh, thank you. Right? And then that ends. So he leaves, and then she, like the guy, Tom Brady guy leaves, and then she's just staring at the dinner table. Right? So cut to, he's at the bar again talking to Favreau.
Right.
And he's saying how, he's like, you know what? And I don't regret it, man. I don't regret it. At least she knows how I feel. You know what I mean, dog? And then Favreau goes, you know what we need to do, though, is we need to find someone who can't be traced back to either of us. And then Vince Vaughn goes, what? He goes, for that guy she was with. He goes, no, listen. He goes, I don't care about the guy, okay? He goes, no, because, and then Favreau goes, no, you got to listen, because if it gets traced back to us, that's a bad thing. That's a problem. And then Vince Vaughn goes, hey, man, I want nothing to happen to this guy. And then he goes, yeah, I got you. Nothing's going to happen to him. He goes, John, I'm being serious. You're scaring me. I seriously don't want anything to happen to this guy.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, nothing's going to happen. John, promise me you won't do anything to him. Promise. Nothing's gonna happen. And then he goes, all right, I'm gonna go home. I can't do this game with you. And he goes, yeah. He goes, but hey, we got to make sure our stories are the same. Okay, so what are you gonna do? He goes, you going home? And he goes, yeah, I'm going home. He goes, all right, just make sure your neighbors know. Get home, make some noise, make some phone calls, let everybody know you're home. You know what I mean? Okay. He goes, please. He goes, look at me, man. Please, honestly, don't do anything. And then he goes, yeah, of course. For all you know, nothing's gonna happen tonight. And then he goes, all right, I'm leaving. He goes, for all you know, nothing's gonna happen tonight. And he goes, I want nothing to happen. He goes, yeah, say that louder. Scream that. I want nothing to happen. And he looks at Favreau, and then he just leaves, right?
Yeah, dude.
So he gets home, and he looks at the dinner, was never touched.
Right.
He goes to Brooke's room. She's knocked out in bed. Mm-hmm. He just closes the door. So he goes back to his work, the tour bus work race, right? And he just sits at his trashy desk. He looks at it, and then he cleans it all up, and then he pulls out these logs, and he starts just going through them. And then it takes him all the way till like literally the next day. Like time, like just going through one by one. He does all the tour logs, I guess. You know what would be. And then D'Onofrio comes in early, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing here, man?" And then he hands him. He goes, "Here you are, man." He goes, "Here's all the tour logs and everything you need last 3 months." And he's like, "Oh, thanks." He goes, "Everything okay?" He's like, yeah, everything's great. Sorry it took so long. I love you, Dennis. And he gives D'Onofrio a hug, and D'Onofrio's like, just like that too. He's like, okay, and then he leaves. So they go back to their place, and it's completely empty. Like the condo, it's completely empty now. And then he goes, I'm gonna go drop these keys off at Jason Bateman's place. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he says that Jason Bateman's place. And then she goes, Gary, there are 1,000 things that I wish I could have done differently. You know, and then he goes, me too. And then he's about to leave. And she goes, you know, when I see this space, now that it's empty, if there wasn't such a big couch and a big table in the dining room, we could have easily fit a pool table right here. And he goes, no, I'm glad we had the big couch. Came in handy these last 2 weeks. And then she smiles and he smiles. He leaves. Fade to black. Fades back in.
Oh, okay.
Chicago is called the Second City because after the fire, they rebuilt it bigger and better. So technically, it's honored to be called the Second City. And ladies and gentlemen, that's where you are. So I'm going to ask you once, don't make me ask you twice. Are you ready to see Chicago? And then it pans back and he's on a boat now giving this tour. Right? Like, he's like, are you ready to see Chicago? Yeah. He's like, all right, let's do it. And then he starts cracking jokes and he's killing it again. And they're off down the boat, right?
Right.
So shows winter, like, you know, shows the river and then it shows winter go over and then it shows spring, right? Mm-hmm. So now it's the end of spring, summer's kind of happening. Jennifer Aniston's walking down the street. Brooke. She turns. Oh my God, hi. It's Vince Vaughn. He looks great. Like he legitimately, as the character, the actor Vince Vaughn lost weight.
Ooh.
Like legit, like he looks like thin, like looks amazing.
Yeah.
And he's all dressed nice and he's got a bunch of grocery bags. And he's like, hey, Brooke, oh my God. And she's like, oh my God, how have you been? It's so good to see you. And he's like, I've been good. And she's like, oh my God, you look great. And he's like, yeah, your hair is different. And she's like, yeah, I know, I changed it. And you lost a lot of weight. And he's like, yeah, not really. And she's like, it's really deceiving. She's like, he said, I really just thinned down, but I have no muscle. So it's still fat, you know? And she laughs. And then he goes, I heard your trip went well. And she's like, oh my God, it was amazing. I saw so many places and it was just the most fun ever. But really, I'm just glad to be home, if I'm honest. And he's like, yeah, it's nothing like, you know, Chicago or whatever, you know? And then she goes, oh my God, by the way, congrats on the boat. I heard you guys finally got the boat and tour company's doing great. And he's like, oh yeah, you got to come by and get the new boat tour. You know, first trips on the house on me. She goes, I will then. And he goes, yeah, I hope you do. And she's like, looks at him, she smiles. She's like, definitely. And they stare at each other. And she's like, I got to go to a meeting. And he's like, yeah, I got to drop these bags off. And then he's like, you know, we shouldn't wait so long to catch back up. And she's like, good. I don't think we should either. He's like, okay. And she's like, okay. And then they're smiling at each other and they start walking away, but like they're smiling and staring. I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Ooh.
I can see all the obstacles in my way. Yep. Camera stares on her. She's fade to black as she walks down the street. Credits roll. And then I like it. It doesn't fade to black. It's just her walking down the street as the credits roll.
As the credits roll. Okay.
And then it's just, she just keep, you know what I mean?
Very classic.
I love when movies end like, yeah, it's just some movie shit. I like when movies end like that.
I like that.
The breakup. That's the breakup.
Hey.
What'd you think, buddy? What'd you think of that rom-com?
Oh, it had some really fucking funny moments. It had some really intense moments.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I told when I said favorite movie, I couldn't say what I want to say because they would have given it away.
What?
This is my favorite rom-com.
Really? Better than Pretty Woman.
Hold on. This is my favorite rom-com that we've done so far. Okay. This is my second favorite rom-com of all time. I love this more than Pretty Woman, but there's one more rom-com that's my absolute favorite, but I'm saving that one.
Okay. All right.
For a special day. Ooh. But this one is my absolute second favorite rom-com. I love it. And I love I like romantic stuff. I like relationship movies. Okay. And I thought this one was a really good tale of a dumb guy.
Yeah, this is a dumb guy. It's a dumb guy. Who turned it around at the end.
I watched this movie because most girls aren't cool when you watch a rom-com. The girl, a lot of times, will suck a little bit.
Yeah.
She does not suck, dude.
Not really.
She went to fucking Michigan Ann Arbor games. She fucking lets you play Grand Theft Auto all day. Do the dishes, and you're like, you nag me.
Yeah, there's not a lot to break up over.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for her end, there's a lot to break up over. Yeah. For his end, dude,
just do the dishes. Especially if like a dishwasher. How hard is it really? You just gotta rinse off the plate and put it in the dishwasher?
Also, she seems like the kind of girl who's only really asking you because it's a big dinner. Like, it would be nice if we did this together because we just had this big family experience. You know what I mean? Let's really, it's about let's keep hanging out.
Yeah.
That's what it's really about.
Yeah.
It's like you already zoned me out and went back to playing video games. You know what I'm saying? Like you already like, it's like, so what is it? What are we doing here?
Yeah. Whew. And they had to live together for 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty solid pettiness on
that nigga
ends.
brought strip poker to the house.
Yeah. Yeah, and she still she liked him that much. She still wanted him.
Yeah, she still wanted. She let it. She went to a concert and sat
Just
alone.
the concert. That's all. He didn't have to do that. He did not have to do the concert.
That was the one thing he didn't have to do. He would have got her back. I mean, she would have stayed with him if it wasn't for the concert.
Yeah.
I get the concert. She was like, yeah, you're the guy I need you to be now, but you left me. I can't.
Yeah.
I got to prove to myself that I don't need you probably, and I got to prove. Like,
I can't let someone treat me like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm better. I deserve, like she said in the beginning of the movie, I deserve better than this.
Yeah.
And she actually did.
She did.